Yeah, wow. FRC acquired by JP Morgan. FRC's at $2. Wow. Yeah, so FRC is gonna take over First Republic after the 4th bank failure of the year. Crazy. Alright. Market's gapping up today, though. SPY up to 416s right now, so it looks like the market's liking whatever happened. Uh, yeah. I'm awake. Ooh. What's up, King, Jose, DS, Beach, Ricky, Type, Ape, Options, Bar, Sai, Dan. What's up, guys? All right, so today we actually have some data. We got SoFi earnings, we got PMI data dropping today. So the question I have is, does the banking sector? Uh, so we're gonna do a poll. It's gonna be basically after JP Morgan acquired, after today's news on JP Morgan acquiring FRC's assets, does the banking sector bounce back today? Is the question. Vote on that poll. Let me know what you guys think. Yeah, so we're gonna get some music playing. Uh, I'm tired, bro. It doesn't matter how much sleep I get, dude. If I wake up at 4:30 in the morning Texas time, I don't feel good. Doesn't matter how much sleep I get, bro. What am I supposed to do with that? Like, how am I supposed to wake up then? We're up, but man, getting up at 4:30 is not fun. Doesn't matter how much sleep I get. I can get as much sleep as I want, but still gonna not feel good. What's up, David? What's up, Ryu? All right, guys. So yeah, so today we got SoFi earnings dropping this morning as well. I don't think we have any other like big earnings coming out today. At least not this morning. Maybe this evening we got some stuff, but this morning's pretty slow. Can y'all hear the music? You should be able to. People at my local gym at 4:30. Yeah, I mean, I can get up. I'm up every day at 4:30. But the question is do I feel good doing it? And it's no. So like I can get up at 4:30, but like here's the problem. The problem is I fall asleep at like 9 o'clock. So I get 7 hours, but I still don't feel good when I wake up in the morning. You know, like I'm up right now. I've been up for 20 minutes now. Just still don't feel good. Coffee helps, but yeah, we don't really have any other big earnings today. We got like Norwegian Cruise. The big one is SoFi. So we have SOFI earnings today, which is the biggest one. Yeah. Move to Europe. It's 9 a.m. somewhere. Hey. Yeah, FRC all the way down to $2 after JP Morgan acquired most of their assets. But is FRC even going to stay a stock though? Because if JP Morgan owns most of it, will FRC really remain a stock, I guess is the question. I think it's good for shareholders, or not shareholders. Shareholders are down huge. They're down at, it dropped to $2. But depositors are probably fine now about JP Morgan acquiring them. Yeah, I mean, here's FRC. It's a rough looking chart. It doesn't look anything like Bitcoin. Bitcoin's not really down that much, man. Everybody's all like Bitcoin, but Bitcoin is at... Bitcoin dropped from 70 down to 30, This dropped from 150 down to 2. There's a big difference there. Bitcoin, there's still a pretty good argument on the strength of Bitcoin. Bitcoin went from $3 to 70 back down to 30. So like when you compare it to the previous original pricing, it's still up huge amounts. FRC was at 170 and it's now at $2. So that's just a huge difference. I get Bitcoin might have some haters, but you can't lie about the gains. You can't not lie. Lie's the wrong word. You can't ignore the gains, I guess I should say. FRC low was 140. Yeah, but that was... That was 13 years ago. Or no, that was over 13 years ago. So, I mean, there's just a difference. This thing, Bitcoin was, we put up a long-term chart on Bitcoin. We can kind of see the same thing. Years and years ago, Bitcoin was at what? $5. So it's kind of the same thing. HLP, what's up, Leslie? Thoughts on Snapchat? I'm out of Snapchat. I mean, I'm not really holding anymore. I think I made money on it. I can't remember. Oh no, you're right, Mad. Sorry, I was talking about the previous lows prior to this run. Yeah, you're probably right about that. In terms of so TOS has that at 141 is the lows. Yeah, for sure, Beach, 100%, man. Chat GPT's great. So is Bard. Bard's pretty good too, honestly. I don't know if I'm buying FRC. Looking at our poll, we did a poll. About 53% think no. The banking sector doesn't bounce back yet. What's up, Kim? Hey, what's up, Snow? Yeah, I feel you, Beach. That might be true for sure. We'll see, Yeah, I had some weird dreams, man. All right, here I'm gonna mute the music for just a second. So I'm gonna mute the music for just a second while I check something here. FRC still down at 186s now. Tesla has a 164. Hmm. All right, guys. So I had to check one thing. You buy FRC? No. Y'all ever trade commodities? I mean, we trade futures. Commodities trading is like a different story. How do you think SoFi's earnings are going to be? I really don't know, man. I'm curious to see, bro. So SoFi is expecting 8-cent loss per share on 441.64 million in sales revenue. So again, 8 cents loss per share on 441.64 million in sales revenue. So that is what they are looking at right now. Again, we'll see if we get anything good, but about dip when FRC got burned. Yeah, I mean, what's up, part time? What's up, Pawn? Hey, good morning, bro. Oh yeah. Does Twitter have a way to upload short form style content? Like, that's what I want to know. Like, can I upload shorts? I'm pretty sure I can. Let me see. Messages. Let me get this dude. Yeah, I figure I'm wasting it if I'm not heck is this? Oh, here it is. All right. All right, guys, bear with me. All right, guys. So yeah, so SPY pull it back a little bit. I'm using, this is Thinkorswim. Cool. Which, yeah, so for people asking, I'm using TOS right now. Now you have to try to buy FRC. I don't know, dude. I don't know if I like it, man. Have you thought about keeping the chat alive after you stop trading for a day as place for traders talk? Cheers. I mean, no. No, I mean, you know, again, doing too many streams or having the stream run too long is bad for growth, you know. Like YouTube, a big part of it is scarcity, you know. So like, yeah, just big part of it is scarcity, you know. So like, you gotta, if you leave streaming too much. I'm using Epidemic Sounds. How y'all feeling about Amazon? I don't know, man. Amazon, again, I told people prior to the Amazon release last week that it was up too much, and now it's pulling back some. I don't know. The PE ratio of Amazon is very high. It's very high. So the PE ratio for Amazon is very high. That's the only thing, is that the PE ratio is a little bit too high. And yeah, again, we do have we do have SoFi earnings this morning. They should be dropping sometime in like 30 minutes or so for SoFi. Again, I don't know when the actual earnings call is, but SoFi should be dropping their earnings. And then we have PMI data. We have ISM manufacturing PMI data. So let me see you. Sorry, guys. I click TikTok and it just puts out some videos.
I love your headpiece, man. I love your headpiece, man. I wanted to point that out.
Oh my god. Jeez, man. Bro, I can't click on a video. Be quiet, TikTok. Damn, dude. You gotta be a way to mute this here so it doesn't just start playing all the stuff. Damn. Dude, be quiet. Videos, dude. I don't want to watch anything, man. Ugh. Sheesh, dude. Wait, what is my account here? Log in. Google. No, I don't want to sign up, dude. I want to log in. All right. All right, sorry guys. I'm gonna put the music back up in a second. All right, so we logged in here. Do we have some TikTok followers, bro? Oh, we got 12 followers. That's cool. All right, guys. How do you meta these videos though? That's my question. Like, how do you? All right, guys. So yeah, today we got SoFi earnings. Wait, so MicroStrategy earnings are today, Ben? Really? Yeah, the music's halted because I had to go somewhere else. Yeah, the Fed the Fed rate hike decision is on Wednesday. It should be a crazy week, honestly. It's a very busy week, man. We got a lot of stuff to talk about too. So like today, we don't have any big earnings today, and oh, we do have MicroStrategy earnings this evening. Honestly, I'm so tired from last week, bro. Last week took it all out of me. Last week I streamed every freaking day, bro. I streamed Monday morning, Monday evening, Tuesday morning, Tuesday evening, Wednesday morning, Wednesday evening, Thursday morning, Thursday evening, Friday morning. I streamed like 8 hours a day last week. And honestly, I'm tired, bro. Because the thing about it is like the live streams are not the only time I'm working. Like, as you can imagine, like running a community like this, we're going to have a lot of off stream work that we have to do in terms of like managing and stuff like that. And Pawn's a great mod. Like he's kind of the main mod I have here. But like, man, dude, last week I was just tired. So if you messaged me over the weekend again and I didn't get back to you, honestly, I'm just tired, dude. Great week. I mean, we grew very, we did great numbers last week. It was great, but still, I'm tired, bro. But today is a little bit of a quiet day. I don't have to work this evening, which I'm very happy about, to be honest. But I think we start again tomorrow. I'll have to check. Uh, Okay, I see. Bro, what did I do, dude? I pressed something. All right, guys. I'm gonna get used to doing other stuff here, so bear with me. But yeah, so we all right, there's Tesla right there. No, I don't want to split. Wait, TT videos can only be 45 seconds? Ah, dude, that sucks. All right, here's the music still muted. Good, I need it muted. Yeah, SoFi earnings today in about 20 seconds, guys. I was beat after last week passing out. Yeah, dude. Whew, bro, I'm tired, dude. Yeah, FRC just got halted, guys. It's at 190s here. If you look at yeah, so FRC halted. So it must be a T2 halt. Uh, yeah, FRC just got suspended. Yeah, we'll cover AMD tomorrow. Next week's not that bad, bro. Like, or the later this week's not that bad. Like tomorrow we got like Uber, Pfizer, BP earnings, and then AMD, Ford, S Bucks in the evening. But mostly AMD, and then uh, Wednesday, of course, is the rate hike decision, and then following the rate hike decision, we got a bunch of other stuff too. All right, so let's make sure the sound is muted. There we go. All right. Why my limit order FRC wasn't been filled? Yeah, dude, they've been they're halted right now. So they are halted right now. Let me see if I can fix this. I'm almost done. I'm about to unmute the music, guys. All right, guys. So yeah, so all right, so all right, there we go. All right, guys. So yeah, Tesla up there at 164.20s. Bro, why won't it let me edit this video, dude? No, I don't want to split it into multiple parts. Got it. Uh, edit. Save. Bro. Okay, I'm so confused here, dude. What is wrong with this video? I'm so confused, dude. What am I doing wrong with this? Hold on. I'm so confused, dude. I don't want to split it into multiple. Who can watch this video public? Okay, good. I'm so confused, dude. What is wrong with this video? Uh, okay. What the heck is wrong with this video, man? All right, guys. Sometimes these things are just weird. Let's look at this. Okay, there's the profile. I'm trying to upload something, but it's MP4 video, I'm pretty sure. All right, let's try a different one. All right, guys. So yeah, FRC halted now. I'm looking up the halt code for this. The current trading halt. I'm looking up the halt code for this. FRC. I don't see the halt code here, so I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe this was halted on a news pending halt, is what I'm assuming this is. Is like I'm assuming this is some type of news pending halt here. But again, I really don't know. Okay, there we go. For whatever reason, now it let me upload the video. All right, whatever. Go away. All right, let me catch back up on chat here. I can also unmute the music now. There you go. Now that I did this. But yeah, I don't see the halt code here for FRX. You should be able to hear the music now. Lowest gap, about 40 million gaps. Talk to you later. Hey, microscopic gap to fill on the E-mini. What's up, CT? Will they take all your FRC money? What do you mean? Will they open at 10? I mean, shareholders probably lost everything. Shareholders, there's always risk. There's always risk buying FRC, in all honesty, man. Especially after last Friday. Last Friday was a weird day, bro. The market actually pushed up all day Friday, but but FRC failed big Friday. So like, here's the SPY itself, right? So here's the SPY on the left side here. And again, if you look at the SPY had a big green day Friday, but for FRC, it was not big and green. It was red. Hey, what's up, Douglas? Yeah, honestly, we got Sofi earnings today. So we do have Sofi earnings today. Yeah, so SoFi's not out with their numbers. They're expecting 8-cent loss per share. And so with that's the kind of the big thing today. Remember, like, SoFi is like kind of like a bank, right? And so if it is, then it might be relevant to all the stuff going on. Yeah, and we also have manufacturing PMI today later today too. So we got some stuff coming out today. It's not like it's a slow day today. Uh you should be able to how much of FRC did Chase acquire? Let me see. So let me look up the data on FRC. So yeah, so Chase won auction to take over failed bank. I'm looking to see if we get a All right, so yeah, federal regulators announced they have seized FRC and struck a deal to sell the bulk of its operations to JP Morgan Chase, second largest bank to fail in U.S. history. So yeah, we're gonna put this up on. Wow, but yeah, so this is kind of big news. Again, First Republic becomes the second largest bank to fail in U.S. history. JP Morgan has acquired most of its assets now, and this is really, really interesting. Like the question I have is, are banks done being weak now? Like one of the really interesting dynamics of this is that on Friday, First Republic had a bad day. You know, if you look at FRC right here, all the way on the right side here, if you look at FRC had we'll put it up next to us on the left. FRC had a pretty rough Friday last week, but when you look at other banks relative to this weakness in FRC, if you look at other banks, like look at JP Morgan here, Green Day Friday. If you look at Bank of America, Green Day on Friday. You look at Wells Fargo, Green Day on Friday. And so really interesting where the big boy banks are trending the opposite to FRC. And it kind of makes sense because if you think about the correlation there in which like people are nervous if they're holding their money in FRC, they get nervous. What are they going to do? They're going to take their money, they're going to stick it in one of the other stronger, bigger banks that they feel is a little bit more safe with regards to their money sitting there. And that's why there's kind of an inverse correlation on Friday, at least with FRC and with the big banks. And again, JP Morgan has just acquired most of FRC's assets now. So FRC is now halted at about $1.90 is what I can see on my end. Again, about $1.90. Federal regulators announced they have seized FRC and struck a deal to sell the bulk of its operations to JP Morgan Chase. Let's see if I can clip that. Yeah, FRC halted now. Kind of rough. Again, we're going to mute the music. All right, guys, the market's starting to do okay. I guess is there an argument in buying one of the big boy banks here? Market just broke over the previous closing price. It's now technically green. Yeah. I broke over that. Tesla's still at 164s. FRC now halted all the way down at 190. Again, Bank of America, SPY up to basically 416s. And so it's really interesting in that hmm, yeah, FRC halted. Is this it? Hmm. All right, guys. So yeah, I'm trying to look SPY just rejected that previous closing price. Yeah, so again, we're gonna unmute the music now. I'm trying to see. I'm talking about kind of this inverse correlation here. Didn't YouTube say they have a short editor? Like, didn't they? Didn't YouTube have some type of short editor? If they do, I think I should be able to go to customization. No. The market's gonna crash. Yeah, I mean, you know how it goes, bro. I've been sitting here saying it might not the whole time. Nobody listens though, you know. I don't really want people to copy me. I really don't. But like at a certain point, it's just kind of like, all right, well, you got to call a spade. And you know, at a certain point, people are just over predicting crashes. Thoughts on top worth a buy? No. Top is a gambler's paradise, Emma. It's something that it's something that a lot of the penny stock gurus selling courses right now are going to use as opportunity to sell more courses. But like it's just gambling, man. Like there's no way to predict what this thing is going to do. Um, you know, there's very little general situations in which taking this big of risk, regardless of the potential gains, is a good move in your trading account. Um, you know, while this move might have gone up huge percentages, a lot of the time they don't. A lot of the time they crash down on people. And so it's just incredibly risky to take. And I know people have kind of like dollar signs in their eyes. So like people get greedy and like want to double or triple their account. But like, again, a lot of the penny stock gurus are just using it to sell courses. Um, some of them made money on it, some of them didn't. But like generally the risk is just really, really high taking these type of trades. So if you do take it, just be careful, scale down your size, you know. Uh, but yeah, JP Morgan acquired most of its assets. FRCs, that is. So again, we'll see what happens, but interesting here for sure. Bro, I know what we probably don't. All right. Yeah. So again, we're looking at the market right now. Kind of a scary market, in all honesty. It's going to crash. Of course, it is. When is the question? Well, yeah, of course. I mean, we could always say that, though. The market's always going to crash eventually. Again, it doesn't mean it's going to be soon. One of the biggest problems I'm seeing right now, and again, you got to understand it from my perspective. Okay, is like people have been yelling crash for a year now. Over that, really. If you look at what keywords trend, 2021 market crash, 2022 market crash, 2023 market crash. And so like uh it really is a situation in which there's so many people screaming crash that I am skeptical of it. And as I've been saying this, the market pushed up. And so yeah. Jim Cramer said, great deal for JP Morgan. First Republic shareholders ain't got nothing for you. Bro, didn't you talk about how strong of a bank FRC was like a month ago, dude? Yeah, you had everybody else is flaming them in the comment section. They said you had something for them a week ago when you said it was a good bank. FRC is the new focus, very good bank. March 10th, 3.5 million views. What is he thinking, dude? Of course they're gonna say this. Like, of course they're gonna say this, man. Like, you know. Yeah, I'm with you next year. Yeah, we really don't know, bro. Like, we really don't know when Uh, hey, let's see about FRC. SoFi earnings should be out right now. Let's look at SoFi here. SoFi just dropped 5-cent loss per share, better than the 7-cent loss estimates. So SoFi is out with their numbers. 5-cent loss per share, better than the 7-cent loss per share estimates. Adjusted sales of 460 million beat the 441 million estimates. We're putting this number up on screen. Here's SoFi numbers right there. Again, better than expected on both EPS and sales. Better than expected on EPS and sales. And SoFi popped up a little bit. This is good for banks. I mean, SoFi is kind of like a tech bank almost. A few small differences, but yeah. All right, but yeah, SoFi better than expected EPS, better than expected sales. They raised fiscal year 23 adjusted revenue guidance from 1925 to 1995. So they raised guidance as well here, which is great. And so again, SoFi just raised their guidance. I mean, SoFi's up. I mean, it's up from 660 to 7. It's a pretty big number here. Yeah, SoFi's out with their numbers here. Again, they raised their guidance here. Better than expected EPS, better than expected sales, and they raised guidance for SoFi. So good news all the way around for SoFi, in all honesty here. So good news all around. We'll go and update. I feel more. But yeah, man, FRC, whew, big bank. Are you trading? No, not yet. Not really. Again, we'll trade later on today. It's just pretty early, so it's 7 a.m. And so if we can find a trade to get into, sure. But right now it's just a little bit quiet. Again, I should have held on my banking shares. Oh, I am. I did hold on to my banking shares. Hey, good. So I am holding a little bit. It looks like cool, man. Honestly, good, man. Again, so we held on to Wells Fargo despite all the craziness, and we are green in that. Nice. Okay. Bank of America too. Hey, cool. Um, Go ahead and cut the rest out right there. Just made a little bit of money. I'm also going to start to scale out of Wells Fargo here too, since I can. Okay, I just got a horrible, horrible, terrible fill. Now I immediately regret it. But I don't think the fill was that bad actually. All right, so yeah, we just scaled out of it. Nice. We'll take that. Uh, yeah, FRC's halted right now. Yeah, again, kind of a crazy for FRC here. Halted on the way down. SoFi starting to turn a little bit here. So SoFi at 665s right now. Again, their net income was 201 million. Their first quarter non-interest income came in at 136 million. Raised 23 guidance, better than expected EPS, better than expected revenue. Yeah, they did pretty good, man. For SoFi. Yeah, they did pretty good. Um, SoFi did pretty solid in terms of their numbers here. I'll put that tweet out there too. How do you get Chat GPT to write stuff for you though? So somebody said they have good AI short creator. If somebody can help me with an AI short creator, that'd be great. Um, hmm. Yeah, if y'all have any recommendations for something that can help me like edit my shorts, mostly just like add captioning to them and pictures if they can. Sofi back up to 680s here. Don't you just ask it? Here, let me ask it. Let's try. Bro, I don't want to watch the video, man. Go away. View. He said, as an AI language model, I'm not capable of editing videos directly. So if I back up to 680s, yes, it's hanging out over volume weighted average price there. It's still sitting up there too. Yeah. I know I can ask it to write me stuff here, which is cool. Let's try Bing here. I think. All right, guys. So yeah, SoFi holding over 675. Try to hold here. Raise guidance. I drink all my coffee already, bro. Damn. Yeah, I've had some of the AI art ones. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. What's up, Grow? Yeah. Oh, weekend was good, man. Like I said, last week I was just so tired, dude. And this week's a busy week too, but it's less busy than last week. Like this week, like we don't really have any big earnings reports this week. We got some stuff, but nothing that I'm gonna cover. Like Wednesday, I get no earnings. We have some in the morning. Like the big earnings this week are gonna be on Thursday. So Thursday, and then we'll probably do Tuesday for AMD, but Thursday we get Apple. You know, so Thursday we get Apple. Yeah, FRC halted at 190s. Again, JP Morgan is acquiring most of its assets. So the music, my bad if the music's still hidden, guys. Sorry. Let me. FRC is the second largest bank failure in U.S. history, the third bank to fail in 6 weeks. Yeah, but the market's actually been trending the opposite way, though, Florida. Like, that's the thing to understand about this latest market. This is what we said earlier, which is that, like, one of the big parts to understand in this is that as FRC failed Friday, the market and other bank stocks actually went up, right? So if you look at Bank of America, big green day Friday, gapping up huge in pre-market today. Wells Fargo had a green day Friday. JP Morgan had a big green day Friday and is gapping up big on this news. And so FRC for a while caused sympathy on the downside when it failed, but at this point in time, it's actually strengthening the other big banks, which in turn is helping the S&P 500 and other financial markets at this point right now. Now, I'm not saying it's done, and again, nobody knows what we're going to happen. Maybe we do drop, but again, I think a lot of people have been pushing for a crash for a long time now, and at this point, maybe we do crash, but it's certainly not a for sure thing. And I think we just got to chill and wait and see what kind of stuff comes out about this. See how the market reacts. The market's up big, and so one of the things that I was critical of is people sensationalizing the last pullback that we got in the markets here. Like the SPY pulled back. If you look at this, people were acting like it was just doom and gloom last week on the basically when we dropped from 410 down to 404. And I think the market is showing resiliency. One thing to understand here is that the market is very close to being green on the year. It might actually technically be green on the year at this point in time. Yeah, so now the market is technically green over the last 52 weeks. This is the first time it's happened in a long, long time. So the market is actually green where we are now relative to the last 52-week high. Or relative to the opening of the last 52 weeks. And so the market is slightly green now, which is a very interesting thing. Hopefully, that continues, but yeah. Yeah, but do you think it's normal for the market? I think it's normal for the other banks to be strengthened by smaller banks' failures. So I think it's normal for there to be an inverse correlation in that regard where FRC, a small bank, fails, and that pushes big banks up because people leave the small bank and go to the big banks, as well as JP Morgan acquired them. So that's going to give strength to that as well. All right, team. So yeah, crazy couple weeks here in market activity. Again, SoFi pulling back down under the VWAP here. But so far starting to dip back down. And again, we'll see if it holds. SoFi is a bank. And so SoFi is a bank here. You know. Yeah, I mean, especially after this, it's kind of the same thing that happened in The Big Short, where do you think real estate investment trusts will be going over? I don't know. I don't think so for those. I don't think so. Maybe though. I don't know. I mean, I don't think they're not doing that bad. So like the Schwab Strategic REIT is SCHH, and it's at 1950s right now. I'm not a big, like, I've never bought a bunch of these, so I'm assuming the Vanguard one is probably the top, you know. In terms of yield, the VNQ gives you, 4.1%. So I guess the question I have is, so in the dividend yield, that pays out yearly in these real estate investment trust ETFs, or is that just the average gain that they make per year? How do they calculate that? I'm assuming it's the average gain they make per year. In 09, this was at 19 bucks. Now it's at 83 bucks. And so I'm assuming that's just average gains per year, or do they actually pay out like interest payments? Hmm. Where's the conference call supposed to be? Oh, here it is. Okay, I see it. Yeah, so JP Morgan today announced it acquired the majority of assets and assumed deposits and other liabilities of First Republic Bank from the Fed Deposit Insurance Corporation, FDIC. In carrying it out, JP Morgan Chase is supporting the U.S. financial system through its significant strength and execution capabilities. As part of the purchase, JP Morgan is assuming all deposits, insured and uninsured. And so basically, depositors are going to be safe in that regard from this. Our government invited us and others to step in, and we did, said Jamie Dimon, the chairman and CEO of JP Morgan Chase. He said, quote, "Our financial strength, capabilities, and business model allowed us to develop a bid to execute the transaction in a way to minimize costs to the deposit insurance fund." Dimon added, "This acquisition modestly benefits our company overall. It is accretive to shareholders. It helps further advance our wealth strategy and is complementary to our existing franchise." Key transaction elements of this FDIC include acquisition of the substantial majority of FRC's assets, including approximately 173 billion of loans and approximately $30 billion worth of securities. Assumption of approximately 92 billion of deposits, including 30 billion of large bank deposits, which will be repaid post-close or eliminated in consolidation. The FDIC will provide a loss per share agreement covering acquired single-family residential mortgage loans and commercial loans, as well as 50 billion of 5-year fixed-rate term financing. JP Morgan Chase is not assuming FRC's corporate debt or preferred stock. Yeah, so again, JP Morgan is not assuming their corporate debt or preferred stock. First Republic branches will open back today, Monday, May 1st, as normal, and clients will continue to receive uninterrupted services, including digital and mobile banking capabilities. JP Morgan expects, as a result of this transaction, to recognize an upfront one-time post-tax gain of approximately $2.6 billion, which does not reflect the approximately $2 billion of post-tax restructuring costs and anticipated over the next 18 months. They remain very well capitalized with a CET1 ratio consistent with its first quarter 24 target of 13.5% and maintain healthy liquidity buffers. All right, so yeah, at around 8 a.m., they're going to host a media call and an analyst and investor call at 8:30 featuring Jamie Dimon regarding this. So yeah, interesting here. We'll see. I don't know regarding the wash sale rule. Ask your accountant, brother. It's not my wheelhouse, dude. What does it mean? JP Morgan isn't assuming FRC's preferred stock. They're not paying back shareholders that lost a bunch of money. That's basically what it means. They're not paying back shareholders that lost. And understandably so. I wouldn't either if I were them. I mean, you speculate on FRC, you lose. You know, it's you. Snap by at these lows. Ooh, I don't know, man. Maybe. All right, guys. SoFi sideways at 674. It's kind of held. Do you think SoFi will draw back after earnings? I'm not sure. Well, yeah, I mean, the Fed thinks we're going to hit a small recession this year, and we'll see if they update us tomorrow or the day after tomorrow in the rate hike decision. Yeah. Apple at 140s. Microsoft at 306. Man, still super strong. Super strong for Microsoft. Yeah, let me hide this for a second here. Sorry, bear with me, guys. Let me stop the screen for a second. I want to look at something. Okay, good. All right. All right, back up. That's ChatGPT. Yeah, I don't know. When is let's see when SoFi earnings are. So regulatory concern halt. Okay, so yeah, FRC was halted on a regulatory concern, it looks like, according to Pawn. Thanks, man. Whew, man, so yeah, we'll see what we get, guys. Interesting day today for sure with the banking stuff going on. I guess the main question is, do you think JP Morgan acquiring FRC is good or bad news? I'm assuming like the bank failing is bad news, and maybe JP Morgan acquiring them is good news. But yeah, but how do you edit them? Hmm. Yeah, it just makes JP Morgan that much more powerful. Yeah, for sure. Super powerful now. JP Morgan will get the high-end customers. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the music, guys, is just like, it's not my music. It's more so just music that is classified as Sofi that is on the website I'm using. I mean, I could switch. My point is not like I'm picking out that song like, yeah, I want to listen to that song. Yeah, I think a lot of people are anticipating the Fed rate hike decision coming out today. Yeah, so we'll see. All right, guys. So yeah, I'm not buying FRC. Yeah, all good, Raphael. What are the expectations for FRC today? Fool, I have no idea, Emma. It could go up, but again, I don't. That's if it resumes, which again nobody knows. That's if it resumes, which at this point in time, I have no idea. It's halted for regulatory concern. It's down at 190s right now. I think they're trying to stop a bank run from happening. No, this music is copyright free, Robert. So it's all free music, bro. I would believe FRC remains suspended until JP Morgan announces our share price to acquire the company, and then it'll go private. I could be wrong, though. That's possible. Yeah, I think that's what's going on. I know they're supposed to have a conference this morning at like 8 o'clock. But again, we'll see. We'll see. Interest rates making more government bonds cheaper. Yeah. All right. Well, so how do we buy? Look at buying treasury notes and bills. What's the how much do they pay out though for treasury bills? You know, so 26-week bill matures on 8/03 August. I don't understand. I'm assuming bills don't pay that much. How much do treasury bills pay out? They don't do interest payments. Yeah, since the maturity date is so short. But how much 1-year treasury rate is 4.8%. All right, so it's about 5% that you're going to get in a year. So you put in, you know, what's a good number to put in? You put in 20K. You'll make about $1,000 on maturity. I don't know, bro. It's cool and all, but what about like, okay. What about notes? I have a 9-year note. If you don't know what, okay, so if you don't know what I'm talking about in chat, guys, so I'm sure there's a lot of people sitting there that don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah, so if you don't know what I'm talking about, guys, okay, to put it in perspective, you have 3 different types of treasury. Essentially, they're bonds, right? But they call them different things depending on the time frame. Like if it's a year or less, they call them bills. So you can basically, it's essentially loaning the government, or you could do it with corporations money, and they'll pay you like a certain percentage, right? Like for instance, the one I just looked up is like the year-long treasury, what's called bills, because if it's a year or less, they're called bills. You could basically loan the government money, and they will pay back 5% at maturity. So maturity is basically kind of like it's when you get your money back, right? It's the extent of the loan, right? So if I take one January 1st and it's a year long, December 31st or January 1st of the next year, they're going to pay me back my money plus 5%. Now, over a year, I believe are called notes, if I remember, if I believe. So over a year, I believe are called notes. Over a year, under 10 year, I believe are called notes. And again, I'm trying to see what they pay out to, because so the year minus ones are only going to pay out about 5%. They're not going to pay you interest payments. Bonds, on the other hand, so if you take like a longer term bond, what they'll do is they'll pay you back. It might be quarterly. They'll pay you back the interest that you're supposed to receive from loaning the government money for that long. Like if you're loaning the government money for 10 years, you're going to get interest payments paid to you a couple times a year, I believe. So it's kind of like a way to get passive income where you can loan the government money, know that you're going to get it back. Like that's the benefit of doing bonds or bills or notes, treasury notes or treasury bonds. That's the benefit of it, is that you know you're going to get the money back. And if you want like a passive way to make money that's completely safe in terms of like getting your money back, you can loan the government money for 10 years, and then they're going to pay you interest payments, and then they're going to pay you the full sum back. So say, let me see what the average 10-year treasury. So yeah, they're going to pay you 3.5%. Why is that lower than what they're going to pay you for a yearly bill? That's what I don't understand. Okay, so treasury bonds, I'm sorry. Okay, my bad. So treasury bonds pay about 7%, a little bit under 7%, 6.5 to 7%. And so to put that into perspective, okay, so say you loan the government 10,000, say you loan the government, let's do an easier one here. Say you loan the government 20K, right? So say you loan the government 20K. They are going to pay you out on a yearly basis, that 20K. Say it's 10 years, right? They're going to pay you out. Wait, my math is wrong. Say you loan the government 20. They're going to pay you out. What is it? 7%. Okay. So they are going to pay you out roughly $1,400 a year. And so if you do that over 10 years, every month, you're going to get a deposit of about $120, $116. And then at the end of that 10-year period, they're going to give you back your 20K, right? So it's just a way to earn passive income in that way. SoFi back up to 660s now. SPY, but there's pros and cons. Again, the S&P 500 will give you 6 to 12% a year. So it's really just a way to lock in specific interest payments. And so while 20K is not that much, you put up 100K, for instance, you do 100,000, you give the government 100K for a bond, and they're going to pay you roughly 7,000 a year. And so again, they're going to pay you $7,000 a year if you give them 100K. They're going to give you a little bit under $600 a month, and then at the end of that 10-year period, you're going to get your 100K back. So that's kind of the benefit of it, is that it's guaranteed, no risk. You're going to get your money back because it's treasury notes. But that's kind of the benefit. If you don't know about all that stuff, that's kind of the benefit. Just a question, why can't I access the funding account when I click to pay? Well, what do you mean click to pay, Mike? You trying to withdraw? I don't know, bro. You got to reach out to them and ask them, dude. If there's a glitch on their end, again, it doesn't have anything to do with me, brother. You got to ask them, man. Can't wait for May Day. What is May Day? Well, the difference is that the mortgage company's loaning you money, but yeah, they're going to make much higher interest. But they're not going to make much higher, but again, there's a difference. And so like for instance, remember, you make so you loan the government 100K, they're going to pay you 7% a year, right? So every year you're going to make $7,000, and I didn't need to calculate that because it's obvious for 100K, but $7,000 a year is what you're going to make, right? So out of the life of that loan, you're going to make 70K. You're going to make, pretty good over that 10-year period. You're going to make almost double, not quite double. You're going to make like you're going to make 70%. Sorry, you're going to make 70% on that life. I should have known the math. So yeah, 10 times 7 is 70. You're going to make 70%, almost double your money, letting the government hold that 100K for 10 years. And I think that's a good deal right now, especially with interest rates and stuff like that. Like, there's some better options, of course. Like if you could buy the other option, of course, is just buying like $100,000 house, $150,000 house, and then trying to make like 1,000 or more in terms of mortgages. And so there's benefits, pros and cons, of course, but that's kind of what it is. May Day is a European festival. Oh, interesting. Yeah, the U.S. market's open. No, I want to pay for the 50K account, but a page with 4 or 3 errors appear. I don't know, Mike. Here, try to hit this link. Try using this link, bro. I got another link you can use. Try this one, man. Yeah, try to hit this one. I can try. I mean, what's it saying? I don't know. I can try the same link and see if it works for me. You go to earn funding at the top right, select. I mean, I'm not running into an error here, bro. It's working for me. What are you trying to choose? What platform are you trying to choose? That might have something to do with it. TS Trader. Yeah, it's working for me. Try a different browser, maybe, Mike. Yeah, AI video looks cool. Yeah, SoFi, again, SoFi drops their actual earnings call here today at 8 a.m. So about 15 minutes. Yeah, I'm not sure, Mike. Again, I can reach out to them if you want. But yeah, I don't know. Glitch on their end. Maybe you could always call them. They should be open in about 15 minutes. But JP Morgan buying FRC, when will, if the shares absorb into Chase shares? I'm not sure. They're supposed to do it. So FRC is now halted at this point in time. It's supposed to open up. They're supposed to do a conference call regarding the JP Morgan FRC acquisition. And it's supposed to be at 8 a.m. No, it works for Europe, Mike. Depends on where, though. Not sure, brother. I would try a different browser, but again, I'm not sure, bro. Yeah, you want to reach out to them, man. Again, that's nothing to do with me on their end. I really don't know in that situation. All right, again, SPY pull it down a little bit. I think everything's kind of high, though. The only thing I'm writing up is banks here. So, like, I'm in WFC right now. I'm in Wells Fargo. I'm in a little bit of Bank of America. No, actually, I cut my Bank of America trade this morning here. And I'm in Wells Fargo, so I'm still in those two. Treasury notes mature in, yeah, so that's what so notes are under 10 years, over a year, under 2 years. Bonds are 10 years plus, I believe is how they do it. Yeah, so PMI data today. Yeah, we do have PMI data. At 9:45 we get base PMI, and then we get ISM manufacturing PMI. I'm pretty sure. Let me look this up. Yeah, so it might be a holiday overseas, but yeah. So today we get manufacturing PMI at 9:45, and then ISM manufacturing PMI at 10. So why aren't you in JP Morgan? Is it too high? Well, so I bought weakness on banks, right? So I bought these trades like 2 or 3 days ago when FRC was dumping down and when the big boy banks were actually following it. The reason I didn't buy JP Morgan is because JP Morgan is actually very green on the year. Like if we look at JP Morgan here, relative to some of these other banks. Like JP Morgan was already green on the year, very strong. And so in terms of just base extension, I trusted it less to continue going up. And again, maybe I should have bought it, but if you look at like Bank of America or Wells Fargo, these were already down on the year. And so I was more confident in kind of a dip buy in those two. And they're all very green. Like I said, I kind of scale out of most of these last week. And so I'm still holding like a piece of Wells Fargo, and I cut the piece that I had of Bank of America this morning. But they're small positions, and I'm already very green on these positions anyway. And so, yeah, but I'm not going to touch FRC. Like, I'm not going to put my money in FRC. I don't know if it's going to open up for trading or not. Again, JP Morgan Chase just acquired them. And so what that means is that like their shares should combine eventually. And maybe that's what's going to happen during the conference call this morning. But again, I really don't know. Yeah, reach out to them, Mike. You know, if you know, that's what I would do, bro. They open up in 12 minutes, I think. All right, guys. So yeah, look at Wells Fargo down there big. Again, FRC is supposed to do some type of conference call at 8 a.m. And it's almost that now. So we got about 10 minutes for that to happen. But again, I don't know. We could stream the stuff going on, the bank conference. Should we? Should we stream the bank conference, guys? Are you still holding Snap? No, I got out of Snap last week. I think I made money on it, but I can't remember. I'm pretty sure I did, but again, I cut it. I think I was. I'm pretty sure I was green when I sold it too, but again, I can't remember. Well, since the Fed is now guaranteeing everything, FRC and JP is kind of like having a government-backed guarantee. Kind of, yeah. Today's not Labor Day, is it? Yeah, today's September. Labor Day's in September. Yeah, we'll stream it if we can. Yeah, I'm trying to find it right now. I had the number up. Let me see if I can find the call. Yeah, I'm trying to put the call up. It looks like they've got the call blocked, but I can't seem to find it. They got the webcast, but when you here you go. Okay, it looks like no, they messed it up. Yeah, I don't know why they don't let you run it. Let me copy this. Try a different platform. There you go. I think I don't even think it's up yet. It says it's at 8:30, and then at 8 a.m. Okay, yeah, I got it. All right, I got it. Okay, you got to register. But yeah, we're doing it. All right. All right, yeah, we muted it. So I see we got over 500 people here. Embedded where, Daniel? But yeah, so we got the we finally got the earnings call thing set up here, so we did get it up. So yeah, we did get it up. We finally got the earnings call set up, or not the earnings call. So I see we got 520 people here. Are y'all here for SoFi earnings? Are y'all here for the SoFi earnings call? %20 like ratio on what? We got 110. Oh, you're talking about, yeah, I mean, that's pretty standard though. Everybody's not gonna hit the like button. Yeah, I don't. Hey, well, we appreciate it, guys. Hey, y'all hit that subscribe button. Yeah, I tuned in for SoFi. Again, I'm gonna try to stream the JP Morgan call. That's supposed to go live. It's supposed to be live at 8:30 though, which is in about 35 minutes. And so we'll stream that. We might stream a little bit of the earnings call for SoFi, but I don't know how much. It is the Fed rate hike week, which is going to be a crazy week, honestly, man. Also, y'all do me a favor, hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet. Hit the notification bell. We appreciate it. So we still got the music playing. All right. Hey, thank you, Byron. Not here for Sofi. I just like how you handle your channel and always drop jewels, always keeping it real. Hey, thank you, bro. I appreciate it. Have you heard anything about PNC acquiring any of FRC's assets along with JP Morgan? Even though I've heard that, yeah, I'm not sure. I've heard that JP Morgan was getting basically all of it, but again, I really don't know. Helping keep me awake. Hey, thank you guys. We appreciate it. Yeah, here, guys. So we'll see what we get. Hmm. All right, look at SoFi dip under the 200 EMA, which is a pretty big relevant level, I think. The 200 EMA is big. The 200 EMA is pretty solid level. So, hey, love you. Love you. PACW fail next. Yeah, I know that's a Pac West. They're looking weak, man. I think if any other bank fails, it might be them, PACW. So if we look at PACW here, here's FRC on the right, but again, it's halted now. Here's PACW down to 950s. So in this one, if there is another bank that fails, it's going to be this one probably. You could look at a 180-day chart and see kind of the big type of parabolic drop that we got in this one, very similar to FRC. So again, I think if there's going to be another bank failure, it's going to be something like this, like it's going to be a stock like this. Yeah, sorry, we're gonna put the background music up. Sorry, I was checking something else. There you go. Yeah, well, commercial real estate is really struggling here. Hey, buddy. Love you. Love you. Have a good day, bud. All right, guys. So yeah, we're waiting to see what the JP Morgan thing does. What do you mean, SoFi? Yeah, I mean, I'm mostly covering. I don't know if I'm gonna do SoFi earnings call. In all honesty, no offense. I'll give you guys the link for it if you guys want. Like, if that's why y'all are here, I'll give you the link for it so you can see it. Just the problem with doing the SoFi call this morning is that everybody, it's going to be something where people, it's going to make everybody else that's not here for the SoFi call leave because it's a call. So here is the SoFi call link right here. So if you want to watch it, I just put the link up in chat. That's the SoFi earnings call link right there. But yeah, again, if I play it on my stream, everybody else is going to leave. Sorry, guys. But I will play the bank earnings call or the bank conference call that starts because that's very relevant to the market today. Somebody said people have become too confident talking smack online. Earlier today, I lost my cool engaging some random troll. I calmed down, realizing his attempts to provoke me were because of how much he hates his own life, and that being him as punishment in and of itself. Honestly, you come to the same realization. Like, I've come to the same exact realization that it's like the people spending their time. Like, imagine you have so little things to do in your life that, like, you're going to some random stream trying to make them upset. You know? Again, whoever's doing it, like I've started to do, just tell them, let it out, man. Let it out. It's okay, you know? But it's interesting because I'm kind of seeing it's not just me. Like, I think a lot of people understand that, like, if that's what you're doing with your life, you know. Minus 2% better than expected on Sofi. Yeah. FRC is suspended. Why is Tesla down? Is Tesla down again today? Tesla at 164s. Tesla had a big green day Friday, too. Look at the big green day. Back up to 164. So, yeah, for sure. Mads. All right, but yeah, Tesla moving up, SPY moving down a little bit. Again, market's kind of extended on the upside for me. Again, it's one of those days where I'm just not super confident in the market. It's just a little bit extended on the upside for me. It's not really one of those times where I'm trying to buy up a bunch of dips like I usually do. Dip buys are usually my favorite things to get involved with, and I'm not really seeing anything good today, of course, because market's still pushing up and just pumping up big. The market is actually technically green on the year now, too. Over the last 52 weeks, the market is green. All right, SoFi pumping back up to 660s here. Yeah, for sure, Voorhees. A road. Indeed, Tesla always be dumping. Yeah. JP Morgan's the real winner of today, though, man. JP Morgan is up to 143s here. And so it's kind of something like the only thing I'm kind of confident in buying right now is banks. Inflation rates. So what about top today? Top is kind of the craziest one, man. That's one of the big crazy ones. Would you buy Bank of America at these levels? I mean, I'm already in Bank of America, but I bought it days ago. Or no, I just cut Bank of America this morning, actually. I'm in Wells Fargo still. And yeah, I really don't know. If I don't mind buying these for long term, you know, but again, I'm certainly not telling anybody to do it. Like, I don't mind buying these up and holding for like long periods of time. But short term, there's some vulnerabilities in banking, of course. I think this year specifically, like what I'm kind of waiting to do is I'm waiting for big pullbacks so I can buy them up. You know. So like that's what it is. So all right, guys. All right, guys. So yeah, Sofi pulled it back to that 200 EMA level, which is always a pretty solid level to watch here. What's up, wholesale Biddy? Yeah, I'm waiting to see. I'm in the presentation here. Let me mute this real quick. Wait, did they exit me out? Okay, so yeah, it looks like there's some glitches with regards to okay, so I got the let me make sure. Okay, yeah, so we are here. Let me make sure this is working. Okay, so yeah, so we're waiting on the JP Morgan thing is at 8:30. We're gonna stream it, of course. What's up, Shepard? Um all right, guys. So yeah, we do have so far numbers. And what an interesting day today, guys. All right, so yeah, we're gonna stream the conference. All right, so we also have PMI data today, guys. So remember, we do have PMI data. So yeah, we do have PMI data today. Is it just me, or are people losing their minds because the last 12 years have been a really good time to be in debt? Historically, these rates are not that bad. What do you mean, like the 6.5%, 7% interest rates right now? Yeah, I mean, it depends on what historical lens you're looking at, right? You look at the early 80s, of course, these numbers are good relative to then. You look at the last couple of years, these rates are not good. You know, when I first entered real estate, interest rates were 3.5%. Right at this point in time, they are roughly 7%. They went up to about 6.7, 6.6 last week. So right now, roughly 7% interest rates is what you're getting. And again, relative to the last couple of years, that's not good. Of course, that's bad. But again, you can always zoom out and look at a little bit better or worse numbers here. I mean, again, early 80s, crazy high interest rates of 18%. So it all depends on what you're, relating it to. Yeah. Well, yeah, well, spending's out of control. So they're trying to combat that, is what they're really trying to do. So yeah, spending's out of control. They're just trying to combat that. Like that's what it really is they're trying to help spending. PSA to anybody using TD, don't forget to set up your Schwab account as the transition is later this month. Really? So I'm on. What do I do here though? You would think they would give me some type of notification though, like, "Hey, you gotta do this," but they haven't. Yeah, so again, I've got alright, so here, let me find it. Yeah, they haven't even give me, any of the notifications here for TD Ameritrade. I'm assuming Schwab is gonna continue to be on, TOS, right? I think it's gotta be, they gotta keep saying that. Banks are still bouncing back up again. Wells Fargo moving up nice at this point in time too. Wells Fargo up to 40 plus right now. Yeah, I mean, if you use TOS is delayed. Do you mean like trading is delayed, or do you mean the switch over is email? Um, yeah, I don't see anything about this. Again, we got about 15 minutes before the thing starts. Yeah, they didn't give me any information on this, so I don't know, man. I'm not seeing. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to check. I mean, I could open up a Schwab account, but the switch over. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I don't see anything new. They haven't sent me anything from them, so I think I'm still okay. I'm assuming they would let me know if they did switch, but yeah. But again, we got about 14 minutes or so until the JP Morgan press conference that they're supposed to be doing here, which again, I'm really interested in seeing what kind of. Let me unmute the music. Sorry, guys. TD switchover is delayed for TOS users. Okay, got you. They contacted. Okay, that's good. Yeah, SoFi earnings are out. They had better than expected EPS, sales, and guidance. Well, yeah, I'm assuming they're going to continue to let me use TOS. Hmm. All right, again, SPY down to 415s here, guys. We're supposed to have 12 minutes before this press conference starts. Do y'all think they're going to say good or bad stuff from this press conference? I really don't know. Got you. Yeah, I'll have to check it. What's up, DC? Bro, after JP bought FRC, how does FRC stock react? Well, FRC stock is now halted on the downside. It's down to like $1 something a share, and it's halted. So it's been a pretty rough time. This press conference is talking about the JP Morgan FRC acquisition. Yeah, my feels are not that bad, man. Again, what I notice is like, I notice like a lot of the people, like I think sometimes people just get sold on certain things, you know. And I think like what happens is like a lot of big gurus use a lot of these big gurus are like partnered with Cobra, you know, which is like a direct routing commission platform that you got to pay commission on, you know. And so I think if you're trading stocks like futures, you know, you're going to have to pay commission no matter what on futures. So this isn't really relevant to futures. The commissions are high on TD Ameritrade for futures too, which is one of the reasons like I use Top Step and Quant Tower for futures. But in stocks, there's no commissions on TD Ameritrade. And again, I get a lot of like, I think a lot of the penny stock gurus trading stocks are partnered with like Cobra and stuff like that. And so I think a lot of the like students or the mentorees for these penny stock gurus are out, they just kind of shill Cobra a lot or other like direct access brokers. And it's kind of one of those things where it's like, y'all have to understand the amount of money that you're given back in commissions is going to compensate for any edge that you get on better fills with Cobra or anything like that, in my opinion. It's something that it's going to be a really hard sell for me considering how the sizing I've traded. I've had some people try to talk me into using like Cobra and stuff, but it's a really hard sell because like to give back all that money in commissions, it's just not worth it to me. It's just not worth it. I trade way too actively for that when I scalp. And again, I'm swing trading on TD Ameritrade, so like my fills are relatively insignificant. But it's like if you ask some of those people, they are pumping Cobra. Like Cobra is just the greatest, best thing ever. And it's like most of the time they're just kind of regurgitating what the penny stock gurus said. And so it's just a hard thing. It's not something like I swing trade on TD Ameritrade. I don't notice like my fills aren't terrible. And again, it's not worth it for me to switch everything over and pay commissions for slightly better fills. It's just not worth it for me personally. But everybody's different, of course, And maybe it's worth it for you. I'm not trying to hate on you, but futures are a different story. Like Quant Tower and Top Step are in my opinion, that's what I'm using for futures. What happens to my FRC puts off FRC doesn't get unhalted? Well, you don't make money. You lose it. All right, guys, we got 8 minutes. 8 minutes. All right, again, SoFi pulling back down to 650s, SPY down to 415.40s. Yeah, I mean, if they don't resume, you're not going to be able to make money. Again, I don't know. Again, I really don't know. If I were you, I would really hope they resume. But again, I truly don't know here. Again, we got about 7 minutes, guys. 7 minutes before this conference call thing is supposed to start. Let me pull it up to make sure we got it here. I'm going to mute the music for a second, and I'm going to pull this up to make sure. Okay, yeah, so it is still. So Jeremy Barnum, which is the CFO, and Jamie Dimon are supposed to speak on this. But yeah, it has not started yet. We are waiting on screen for y'all can hear the music though, correct? I just want to make sure y'all can hear it before we start this conference call. Again, Tesla is at 163.60s here. The SPY at 415s. All right, guys, look at Tesla with a huge gap down and then a quick bounce back here. What is this from, though? Look at this drop on Tesla here. It's at 164s right now. Let me see if there's a reason for this. But Tesla dumped down pretty big here. Sofi still dropping a little bit. So it could be from the current administration saying they're going to delay EV biofuel program decisions. That could be from it, what it is. But again, that shouldn't cause that big gap down. Why? Does anybody know the reason for this gap down in Tesla here? Okay, never mind. This is the pre-market gap down. This is a 1-minute chart, though. What the heck is wrong with my chart? Let me put up something else. Look at AMD rip up. I don't know why this gap down happened. That's weird. Weird looking gap down. Again, 5 minutes, guys, before this thing's supposed to start. About 5 minutes. The economic releases for the JP Morgan FRC acquisition thing that's supposed to be going on today. So JP Morgan acquired FRC. We're going to listen to that report in the CEO, CFO interview. And then we have at 10 a.m. we have PMI data coming out today. But again, the JP Morgan conference call is supposed to start in about 4 minutes. Hey, you as well, Sam. Thanks, man. All right, guys, about 2.5 minutes, guys, before this is supposed to start. About 2.5 minutes here, team. Yeah, JP Morgan and other banks, again, they're popping up big. Look at JP Morgan up here. And again, I am still in WFC, and we are making money on that. We cut Bank of America. We had a position there, but we sold it this morning. Or we sold a lot of it. We bought these a couple days ago, and I told you guys when I was buying them, and it looks like this was the right move because, again, they are very much going where we wanted them to. Again, people underestimate my swing trading, man. So many people are just they get wrapped up in what should happen in the market or whatever it is. Nothing should or shouldn't happen. The market is about mass psychology. And so all right, guys, here's the conference call starting in about a minute here. Again, we're going to put JP Morgan. We're going to put JP Morgan. We're going to put FRC in the middle here at 190s, and then we're going to put the overall SPY here on the right. So here's the SPY. Here's FRC in the middle, and then there's JP Morgan on the left. And so that's what we got today. Bitcoin at almost 29K. I mean, maybe it hits 26, but I don't know what odds that is going to hit. All right, here's the conference call. Let's hear it. Hold on, let me mute this. All right, we're still on hold here. I don't know when it's supposed to start, but we're still on hold. I can hear so there's still on hold music. So it hasn't started yet. And again, the title is JP Morgan Chase acquires substantial majority of assets and assumes certain liabilities of FRC. And so we're just kind of sitting back waiting. It should be starting anytime now. Let's turn the music off. Please tell me why it's going to crash today in great detail. Why? What's going to crash? Yeah, but FRC's halted, King. So it's completely halted and stuck right now. So it's not open. So yeah, FRC is halted completely right now. Again, it's been halted all morning. It was halted at 5:30 this morning. So right when we first started the stream, this thing got halted. And again, it's halted because of bank fears and woes, you know. All right, I think it's starting now.
Please
Let me know if you
stand
can
by.
hear
We are
it.
about to begin.
Can you hear this?
Good
Sound
morning,
check.
ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the JP Morgan Chase's conference call. This call is being recorded. Your line will be muted for the duration of the call. We will now go to the live presentation. Please stand by.
Sound check.
At this time, I would like to turn the call over to JP Morgan Chase's Chairman and CEO, Jamie Dimon, and Chief Financial Officer, Jeremy Barnum. Mr. Barnum, please go ahead.
Thanks, operator. Good morning, everyone. The presentation is available on our website, and please refer to the disclaimer in the back. And thank you for joining. On this morning's call, we will cover the transaction we closed overnight for assets and liabilities of First Republic Bank. I'll keep my prepared remarks relatively brief so we can get to questions right away. Starting on page 1, we always talk about how our fortress balance sheet and consistent operating model allows us to invest through cycles. The overwhelming majority of these investments are organic initiatives, and you will hear details about many of them at our Investor Day later this month. But of course, it applies just as much to inorganic opportunities, such as this transaction. The key transaction details on page 2. We have acquired substantially all of the assets and assumed certain liabilities of First Republic Bank from the FDIC, including approximately $173 billion of loans, $30 billion of securities, $92 billion of deposits, which includes the $30 billion from large U.S. banks, and $28 billion of FHLB advances. In addition, we will make a payment of $2.6 billion to the FDIC. We are not assuming First Republic's subordinated debt or preferred stock. The FDIC has provided the traditional 80% loss share with respect to the substantial majority of acquired loans, as is typical in a receivership transaction. We will be repaying the $25 billion of deposits from large U.S. banks. The deal also includes a $50 billion 5-year fixed-rate funding facility from the FDIC, which helps manage the ALM profile of the transaction as well as the liquidity consumption. In terms of integration, we have received all necessary regulatory approvals, and this transaction has closed. First Republic branches and offices will open today and operate normally. First Republic clients can bank as usual and feel confident that their deposits are backed by the strength and security of JP Morgan Chase. I should pause here for a second to address First Republic employees. They are a critical part of First Republic's well-known value proposition of outstanding customer service, and we are committed to treating them with respect, care, and transparency. In addition, in connection with any job losses, we would emphasize that in the normal course, JP Morgan Chase hires tens of thousands of people in the United States each and every year, which means that there will be many opportunities for career redeployment. Moving to page 3, which summarizes the financial impact of the transaction. We expect the transaction will generate a one-time gain at closing of $2.6 billion post-tax. Importantly, this does not include total restructuring costs of approximately $2 billion post-tax, which we expect to incur over the course of 2023 and 2024. So, accounting aside, on a net basis, the gain is quite modest. It's worth noting that the loss sharing agreement reduces the risk weighting on the covered loans to an average of about 25%, which significantly contributes to the capital efficiency of the deal. Touching on a few other points, the transaction is modestly accretive to EPS, and we expect to generate more than $500 million of incremental net income per year, not including the one-time gain or restructuring costs. It is also accretive to tangible book value per share and has an IRR of over 20%. The net of the day one gain and the corresponding RWA increase will reduce our CET1 ratio by approximately 40 basis points. Therefore, our pro forma ratio is still comfortably above current requirements and consistent with our first quarter 24 target of 13.5%. Turning to page 4 for the transaction rationale. As you know, the FDIC invited us, along with a number of other banks, to participate in a competitive bid process. We did not seek out this deal, but it does have financial benefits as well as enhancing our market positions and accelerating some of our key growth opportunities, particularly in wealth management. We are happy that our financial strength and capabilities enabled us to participate in a process involving multiple bidders that resulted in a rapid and orderly resolution without the use of the systemic risk exceptions. Page 5, you'll see the branch map. The branches we are acquiring from First Republic are in attractive locations and affluent markets, which is an opportunity to accelerate our wealth strategy. Moving to the due diligence and the integration plan on page 6. After the data room opened, a large team of professionals representing all business and functional areas performed a comprehensive review of the data led by senior management. In terms of integration, clients will gain access to our leading capabilities, and certain First Republic branches will be converted into new JP Morgan Wealth Centers. Over time, we will be converted First Republic's operations and platforms to Chase and JP Morgan brands and technology platforms. So to wrap up on page 7, we are glad to have been able to contribute to the rapid and orderly resolution of First Republic Bank. This transaction is attractive for our shareholders, both from a financial perspective and for the opportunities it presents for our franchises. And we look forward to welcoming First Republic clients and employees to JP Morgan Chase. And I want to make a correction here. I think I misspoke. The cash payment is $10.6 billion, not $2.6 billion. And with that, we will take any questions. Operator, please open the line.
Please stand by. For the first question, it's coming from the line of Steve Chubak from Wolfe Research. You may proceed.
Hey, good morning.
Morning.
So congrats on the deal. You noted, Jeremy, $500 million boost to earnings from the acquisition. FRC generated close to $1 billion of earnings annualized in the most recent quarter. Your funding base is admittedly much lower cost. Just trying to understand why the accretion isn't greater. Any help you can provide just to quantify the benefit in terms of funding or interest expense savings versus legacy First Republic?
Yeah, good question, Steve. I would say we're just generally trying to be a bit conservative. Obviously, there are open questions about deposit retention. We are very eager. We're going to fight hard to keep all the clients. We welcome any clients who left to come back. But, this is an uncertain situation, and we want to be a bit conservative.
Understood. And maybe just for my follow-up on the, because you alluded to deposit attrition, what attrition assumptions are you contemplating for First Republic, whether it's loans, deposits, advisors, as part of the accretion analysis? And what expense synergies can be realized just given the strong footprint overlap in terms of wealth deposit coverage that you alluded to?
So, Steve, maybe I'll start with the wealth advisors question. Because not surprisingly, we've had a number of advisor teams from First Republic reach out on an unsolicited basis over the past several weeks who are interested in joining JP Morgan, which as a starting point, we think is encouraging from the retention perspective. And then furthermore, there are still nearly 150 advisors with the firm. And we believe that our brand, the investment platform, the banking capabilities, and our research can make us a firm of choice for many of these advisors. And we think JP Morgan is a great place for advisors to grow their practice and stay for the rest of their careers. We do understand that these are really good teams of high quality advisors who have choices. So your question about attrition is well stated. And we're really looking forward to discussing everything we have to offer when we meet with them. I think you had a few other questions about what I would call general transaction modeling assumptions about attrition and expense synergies and so on. And what I would say is that generally we've tried to be conservative, and we'll probably be giving you some more updates on that both at Investor Day and on subsequent earnings calls.
All right, looking forward to that update, Jeremy. Thanks so much for taking my questions.
Yep.
Next, we'll go to the line of Erica Najarian from UBS. You may proceed.
Yes, thank you. Jeremy, my first question is, how much of the loss share agreement, is contemplated in the CET1 impact at close? Is there anything else other than the risk-weighted assets, going down to 25% in terms of the loss share agreement impact? And assuming that most of the marks are interest rate related, how are you going to share that net interest income purchase accounting accretion from the FDIC? Or how would that work going forward?
Okay, a lot of technical details in there, Erica, about loss share, which is, to be fair, complicated stuff and can be a little bit hard to understand. So if we need to follow up, we can do that offline. But what I would say broadly is that given the nature of the portfolio in question, I think First Republic is very well known for very good credit discipline. As you point out, these are primarily rate marks, and therefore the benefit of the loss share really is the sort of enhancement to the RWA risk weighting, which in turn is what makes these otherwise generally not very high returning assets, in other words, prime jumbo mortgages primarily, actually quite attractive from a returns perspective. So the CET1 numbers, fully incorporate the expected risk weighting of the RWA, and we'll leave it at that.
Got it. And if Jamie is in the room, I just wanted to ask, I know you mentioned it on the media call, but just in case your investors weren't on that, is this sort of the end of the more acute liquidity issues? In other words, do you expect the resolution of First Republic to sort of be the big signpost that the acute liquidity issues that the industry suffered in March should be mostly behind the industry?
Well, no crystal ball is perfect, but yes, I think the banking system is very stable. You guys have reported already on tons of regional banks who actually had good results, very modest outflow. A lot of the deposit outflow is because of quantitative tightening. It wasn't because these people are having runs. There are only so many banks that are offside this way, and I think this is, there may be another smaller one, but this pretty much resolves them all. But this part of the crisis is over. That does not, down the road, there are, rates going way up, real estate, recession, that's a whole different issue. But for now, everyone should just take a deep breath.
Thank you.
Next, we'll go to the line of Gerard Cassidy from RBC Capital Markets. You may proceed.
Thank you. Good morning, Jeremy.
Morning, Gerard.
Jeremy, and maybe Jamie as well.
He's chopped liver, Gerard.
Obviously, you guys have experience in buying failed institutions. Washington Mutual, obviously, was the big one back in 08, 09. I know this is very different than Washington Mutual. Then, of course, you bought Bear Stearns in a distressed acquisition. Can you share with us what are the risks that you have identified based on your experience in doing those deals that you really have to focus in on to make this deal as good as it looks on paper?
We're leaving behind a lot of things. So you're basically getting a very clean bank in the most clean way you can get it. That does not mean there's no risk. It just means you have a very clean bank in the cleanest way you can get it. That didn't have those problems. And of course, we didn't have the mortgage crisis that, sitting on top of Bear Stearns and WAMU, et cetera. So we feel pretty good about it. But that doesn't mean that something doesn't pop its ugly head up down the road.
Very good. And then on the assumptions with the deposits you're assuming, do you guys get to reprice those deposits from the get-go, or do you have to wait until, if there are term deposits, do you have to wait until they mature and then you reprice them?
A bunch of nuances in there, Gerard. So one set of issues is system integration. Obviously, any term deposits, any CDs, anything with a contractual maturity remains that way. So I think, the reprice experience will blend over time into the rest of our deposit franchise, is what I would say. But it's going to evolve, I think, over the next.
Great. Thank you, guys.
Next, we'll go to the line of Ibrahim Poonawala from Bank of America. You may proceed.
Good morning. Jeremy, if I could follow up just in terms of the loan book. So if you can help us, what's going to be the yield of these loans that are coming on when you mark to market? Just trying to understand the NII contribution tied to the loan and the securities book as we go forward and back into your $500 million net income map.
Yeah, good question, Ibrahim. I guess in simple terms, I would just say as part of purchase accounting, all this stuff gets fair valued. So you can just kind of look at the screen, mark these things to market, and assume the associated yield.
Got it. And I guess one just separate question, given the amount of time you have spent with the regulators through this whole FRC transaction, it does feel like the industry is in need of consolidation. Would love to hear, Jeremy, your thoughts, or Jamie, your comments around, do you think the regulators are prepared for allowing some of the regional banks to consolidate and become a market solution if we get into more stress over the coming months and quarters?
Yeah, so I would say and we've been very clear, we're hoping for an open bank solution here. We support and want community banks and regional banks. You need big banks too, and to do the type of business we do around the world for our larger clients. And banks will consolidate. You're going to have all of that taking place. You should ask the bank regulators what their real view is of consolidation.
Got it. Thank you.
Next, we'll go to the line of Mike Mayo from Wells Fargo Securities. You may proceed.
Hi, just one specific question. What is the rate on the 5-year loan from the FDIC?
Mike, I'd rather not disclose the specific rate. It's at market financing is what I would, fixed rate.
Okay, that's all part of the $500 million accretion. And the $500 million accretion is immediate accretion. It assumes zero synergies. Is that correct?
So the way we talked about it is sort of run rate 500 million plus, offset excluding the bargain purchase gain day one, as well as the restructuring costs that we expect to incur over the next couple of years. But once all that's worked its way through the income statement, that's when that sort of 500 plus kicks in.
And Jamie, just I guess for the history books, you were reported in the media that you were kind of the ringleader to help stabilize First Republic, help move the industry past this phase. It didn't play out maybe exactly as planned, but certainly the loss to the FDIC is less than I think almost anybody had expected. No systemic risk exception, anything like that. So just as you pull the lens back, how do you think about JP Morgan's involvement? How do you think about this resolution? How do you think about kind of the way things played out and the way things should have played out?
Yeah, so the first one, I was just the first phone call. All of those banks were deeply involved in trying to figure out what we can do to stem the run and the tide, slow things down for First Republic, to give them chance to seek out a open bank. So we didn't know at the time whether that would be possible. Some thought yes and some thought no, but we wanted to give them the time. It did, in fact, calm things down and stop the run. And it did give them time to look at it. They couldn't get there. I think Jeremy's made the point that this is actually a very good outcome for everyone because this is how the system was meant to work. No systemic SRE, systemic, whatever you call that. It was put up for bid. It was competitive bidding, cheapest cost to the DIF, which the FDIC said will be something north of $13 billion. But remember, and everyone should remember, that DIF is paid for by the banks. So I think you're never going to have no bank failure. So if this is how these things work in the future, that's a rather good thing. So all in all, okay, and hopefully this mini bank crisis is over.
And one last quick follow-up in terms of, you said this part of the crisis is over. Have you seen that in the deposit flows? Like for a while, you got an influx of deposits. Is that still stable like it was?
Yeah, no, I think, I was reading all the regional bank reports from you and some of the analysts out there. They're all mostly, some of the banks down 2% or 3%. A lot had to do with QT. They were not having runs. The runs were really limited to the people who had too big uninsured deposits and money that can move very quickly and stuff like that. So, yeah, I think that's over. And obviously there's always future issues, but I think that's mostly over.
All right, thank you.
Next, we'll go to the line of Betsy Graseck from Morgan Stanley. Please go ahead.
Hi, good morning. How are you? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, fine.
Okay, great. A couple of questions. One, when I think about First Republic, the loan book, it feels to me like a loan book that is, priced differently from how you would go to market for those types of loans. I'm talking specifically around, the mortgage and high net worth loans. And I'm trying to think through how to, model this out. Should I expect that the loan portfolio that you have is, more of a melting ice cube that you would be, replacing with your own lending profile on your own standards and yields, et cetera, over time, and that would be, maybe a multi-year fade and then rebuild? Part of the reason for asking the question is the $500 million net income accretion seemed a little light, and I'm trying to think through how to get to there. Thanks.
No, I'm not a fan of putting mortgages on the balance sheet. And these are pristine loans, so keep that in mind. And largely jumbo high net worth loans. The loans themselves are really creditworthy. And being marked, they're obviously going to have a much higher return going forward. But we're not going to be putting a lot of cheap jumbo mortgage loans on our books. And we've already incorporated all of our numbers, potential runoff. And, First Republic did a great job at service. Have been in the low cost lending business is not what JP Morgan does.
So then the follow-up on this is, when I'm thinking through the IRRs, what are you thinking about with regard to how you're going to take this client set and expand what business they're doing, with you, the former FRC? You're not going to keep the First Republic name, are you?
We're not. And like I said, I think, they did do a lot of, mortgages very quickly for people, and people are very happy with it. But remember, they also had extraordinary client service, good wealth management, excellent branch location. So you're dealing with high net worth clients. They have a very good model, but that one piece of it I'm fond of, and it's all built into our forecast going forward.
Okay. All right. Thanks so much.
We can't. So we assume a little bit of extra attrition. We assume a bunch of little stuff, and but making very large, cheap mortgage loans will not happen going forward.
And so this is a multi-year repositioning of the client activity with the folks that you are bringing in from First Republic. Is that a fair way of thinking about it?
Yeah.
All right.
My experience has always been when you do an acquisition, there are some things the other side does really well, and you should learn from that. And so this gives us a kind of an opportunity to look at how we deal with high net worth clients. We have Chase Private Client, we have Chase Wealth Management, we have JP Morgan Advisors, and how we want to fit them in a way that's great for them and their clients. And we hope to learn a lot from them.
Betsy, there's also like a Northern California nexus too, an interesting opportunity to be even
and a business banking nexus. They do a lot of good business banking relationships, and we like that business.
And at the risk of pointing out the obvious, this happened relatively quickly. This is not the outcome that we necessarily planned for or expected, although we did contingency planning. So there are a bunch of day two issues about strategy and client retention and all that stuff that we're going to be working through clearly.
Jen Peepsack, Marion Lake, Ben Walter, Kristen Lemko on a plane as of 6 or 7 o'clock this morning to go out there to meet the folks, do some town halls, learn a lot, and there'll be a lot more to report down the road.
All right. Thanks for your time. Appreciate it.
Next, we'll go to the line of Glenn Schorr from Evercore ISI. You may proceed.
Hi. First, a quick follow-up on the advisor base. So FRC had attracted a bunch of advisors over the last couple of years on some of these deals. I don't know if you can share with us how much of them were on deals, but my bigger question is, did the deal stay in place? Did they have change of controls? Sometimes
They
on
all
normal.
stay in place. Yes, they did deals. We're not gonna give
Okay,
any-
so we should feel good then about the retention going forward, even though your assumptions are conservative. I would assume that they want to keep those deals. So
Yeah, it's a 50, so it's not, and yes, and I think I'm gonna try to have a call to them myself later on today, and they're as far as we know, very high quality, and we want to keep all the high quality people, but every deal I've ever been in, everyone else is trying to hire these people at the same time. On the other hand, this is a great home for them. So if you are an advisor and you're listening to me, we have the best research, best equity, best debt, best munis. We have concierge services. We take care of people. We've got excellent compensation plans. We're very steady. We've got unbelievable banking products. We have unbelievable products for your business banking clients, your middle market clients, your corporate clients. So we have huge capability we can bring to help them do a great job for their clients.
if advisors are listening, I agree with all that except the second best research. Just kidding.
That's why I'm getting the calls.
The question for you: Do you? I find it interesting that the deposit cap wasn't a function in this, and there seem to be plenty of other bidders, or at least a few other bidders that were not over the deposit cap. So was it truly about minimizing the cost to the diff?
The FDIC is truly about minimizing the cost of the diff. The United States government is truly about having systemic problems, and the OCC decides about the cap. But the cap, I think, has always been given up in deals like this for the sake of the system.
Okay, thank you very much.
And for our final question, we'll go to the line of Scott Seifers from Piper Sandler. You may proceed.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Jeremy, can you maybe walk through, just at a top level, you don't have to get too deep in the weeds, but how you arrive at the $2.6 billion after-tax gain? It can just be a little difficult from the outside to get from the sort of the implied asset discount down to the tangible book value impact.
Sure. I mean, and we can definitely do this for you offline, but broadly, it's like net asset value, core deposit intangible, associated deferred tax liabilities. It's kind of BAU. There's one nuance that might be a little confusing, which is the fact that our $5 billion deposit gets eliminated in consolidation. So when you add that to your mental math using whatever that page is in the presentation, I think you'll get there pretty easily.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. And then I guess, Jamie, while we've got you, certainly, hear what you're saying on the strength of the industry, but we do have a situation where over the course of 8 weeks, like 3 of the top 30 banks in the country failed. Deposits flowed to you all and a handful of the other largest banks, and to look for the sort of solution to one of the biggest ones. The government looked to you guys. Do you think as we look forward, sort of the rest of the industry is going to have to be constructed more like a JP Morgan, just higher capital, better liquidity, just sort of all around for people to have the same level of confidence sort of uniformly across the industry?
I wrote in my chairman's letter, I think people should take a deep breath and be very, very thoughtful about changes. So obviously there should be some changes made about held to maturity, disclosure on interest rate exposure, uninsured deposit percentages, percent of and held in HTM, et cetera. But I think they should do that intelligently, because what you want to do is have a healthier, strong, and competitive regional bank and community bank system. If they don't do it intelligently, you'll make it much harder to be a community bank or regional bank, and you can do things that create a lot of security without creating additional unnecessary burdens. So, but that's obviously going to be up to the regulators. They've already reported out some of the things they think about things. And
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
And we have no further questions.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. All right, guys. So yeah, let me know what you guys thought about that. Interesting conference call here for sure. Very interesting. We're going to put some more charts up. So JP Morgan hasn't really reacted much. FRC still halted on the downside here. And yeah, here's the spot right now. We're going to get ready to trade some futures today, though, of course. We're going to get ready to trade some futures today. We'll see what banks do for the remainder of the day. And remember, we do have PMI data dropping at 10 a.m. So we do have PMI data dropping in about an hour, about 1 hour for PMI data. Again, we'll see if we get something good. But yeah, should be an interesting day here, man. It's Monday. The market is finally back open after being closed all weekend, of course. And yeah, again, we'll see what we get here. I'm going to put JP Morgan up in the corner of the screen just because I want to watch these to see if they end up resuming higher. And again, we're going to get ready to trade some futures. Let me know what you guys thought about this. Again, we had a losing week last week trading futures. We'll see if we get a little bit better this week. Let me see. So typically with these, I do the there we go. All right. So again, market's dipping down a little bit, but yeah. Let me know what you guys think here. We'll get the music playing again as well now that we can. All right, let me get the music playing here. There we go. And remember, manufacturing PMI data drops today too. It's obviously a pretty busy week here. So like today we got manufacturing PMI data. Tomorrow we have European CPI, so inflation data for Europe drops tomorrow, so very relevant. And then we got durable goods orders and the JOLTS job report at 10 o'clock for tomorrow. JOLTS job report at 10. We also have some earnings tomorrow, I believe, with regards to like AMD, I think is what drops tomorrow in earnings. Tomorrow morning we've got like Uber, Pfizer in the morning. That'll be relevant stuff. Today we had Sofi. Tomorrow we have AMD and Ford in the evening here. And we'll probably stream AMD. And then Wednesday we got the rate hike decision. So again, Wednesday we got the rate hike decision, as well as like we get NBA mortgage 30-year data. So last time they came in at 6.55% for mortgages, like what the mortgage rate was in the country. And then Wednesday morning we get ADP non-farm employment change numbers. So we get ADP non-farm data. We get services non-manufacturing PMI tomorrow as well. And then, of course, we get the rate hike decision Wednesday. No, not tomorrow. So this is all Wednesday. So then, of course, we get the rate hike decision later on that day on Wednesday, as well as the press conference that accompanies it. And then Thursday, we've got import exports, jobless claims. Thursday, of course, and then Thursday evening we get Apple earnings, which are going to be huge. And then Friday we get. And then we also have the ECB rate hike decision Thursday morning. And then, so again, we will cover that. So we get the ECB interest rate decision Thursday morning for May, and then the accompanying press conference there. And then following that, of course, we get Apple earnings. And then in the morning time, we've got unemployment data dropping at 8:30 Friday morning, as well as non-farm payrolls dropping at 8:30 Friday morning, as well as we probably have some earnings, I'm assuming, too here. So yeah, Friday morning, we've got AMC earnings in the morning. So AMC earnings in the morning, huge day. That's just going to be a big day, man. Honestly, it's very strange, though, that AMC is deciding to it's very strange that AMC is deciding to do their earnings call in the morning instead, which is just different. It's not typical. John, is the interest rates higher for people with good credit? No. So I have a mortgage friend that explained this to me in a little bit more detail. Basically, what he said was that okay, the fees that you pay when you have bad credit, some of those fees are going to get waived, you know, if you have worse credit. So if you have worse credit, some of those fees are getting waived, but you're still going to pay more for a mortgage than you would if you had good credit, you know? So like, you're still going to have to pay more in terms of fees and expenses and interest for a mortgage. If you have bad credit, you're still going to have to pay more. You're going to have to pay more fees than if you have good credit. It's not like people with bad credit are going to get better mortgages than people with good credit. They're just going to have they're going to have reductions in fees in some of the low credit mortgages that they put out. But again, they're still going to have to pay more than obviously whether you have good credit or not. And it's just been sensationalized a little bit. At least that's what my understanding is from my mortgage friend who's a mortgage broker. Again, that's kind of what he said. But yeah. Hey, what's up, Gutsy? All good, man. All right, so we did get a little pop back up. And again, if you haven't already, check out Top Step, man. This is the first plug I'm doing all day. So if anybody's going to cry about this plug, y'all can just go ahead and cry about it. Top Step, if you want to day trade at all, almost all pro traders are day trading futures over anything else. And I'll explain why. It's because in futures, you know, you hear about the SPY. And oh, the SPY is great to trade. A lot of pro traders make a living just trading the SPY. What the SPY is the S&P 500. You can essentially trade that in futures. It's called the E-mini, and there's no PDT rule in futures. So you can day trade, short, margin account, instant settlement, buy market, buy bid, sell ask, trade futures with no PDT restrictions, and essentially day trade the SPY. In the futures market, it's called the E-mini, which is what you see on the screen right here. You can do it with no PDT restrictions. And you can also trade currencies in futures. You can trade commodities in futures. And again, there's no PDT restrictions. And so if you want to day trade, the futures market's probably where you want to do it. And a lot of people don't have the funds to really get what they want out of the futures market. And the easiest, cheapest way to learn is Top Step's funded account program. They're a sponsor of mine, so they pay me money, and I am biased in their favor, certainly. But it's easily the best way to get your feet wet in the futures market. So what they do is they give you a demo and they test your profitability. They test your skill. It's a challenge. You know, some paper trading accounts cost the same amount as the Top Step Combine, by the way, where the base one on Top Step is like $140 or less a month. If you use my link, you get 20% off. So it's like 130 something. If you use my link, very cheap relative to what you get. And they're going to give you a $50,000 demo account for that. And they're going to give you a profit target. I believe it's 3K, and they're going to give you a max loss and give you rules to follow. And if you could pass that testing, which is a reasonable 2-to-3 ratio, I believe, if you could pass that testing, they fund you the same amount, which is 50 grand with a 90% split. And this is a company that pays out millions of dollars to their funded traders every year. They've been around for over a decade, and they fund thousands of traders a year. And most people are going to fail this challenge. I'm always real with people. Most people are going to fail this challenge because most day traders lose money. But that's kind of the point, is that it's so much cheaper to lose a Top Step account than it is to put up 10K yourself and risk that in futures and lose. It's so much cheaper. And so it's the best of both worlds, where if you pass it, you get 90% of your profit moving forward. If you don't pass it, you probably would have lost more anyway. And so again, here's the link. Check it out. Great way to help support the channel. It's called Top Step. Again, we're getting ready to trade on it right now. And yeah, here's the link. Check it out. So no, there's instant settlement, Russ. So when you trade futures with a margin account, you get instant settlement, and there's no PDT. So you can use a margin account in futures and get instant settlement with no PDT restrictions. All right, guys, PMI data comes out pretty soon. Again, we had a little bit of a losing week last week. That's okay. We're still green on the Top Step account. We still got time. I mean, I'm pretty sure you can trade a cash account, Russ, but there's no PDT restrictions. You know, like that's the edge. All right, so we are pulling back a little bit. And again, we do have PMI data, so we get manufacturing PMI data today. It's a pretty big day. I mean, we got a lot of stuff coming out. And again, the rest of the week, the Monday and Tuesday this week, we got some stuff. Like tomorrow, we got AMD earnings that we could probably do as well. But Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, big days, influential days of market activity as well today. So, you know, be ready for that, guys. All right, guys, about less than 20 minutes until the market goes live too. So. All right, again, market's testing this low right here. Again, we'll see if we bounce. We got 17 minutes, team. 17 minutes. So we're bouncing up a little bit here. PMI drops at 9:45, but it's not the big one. The big one's at 10. So one drops 15 minutes after the open, and then the big one, which is ISM manufacturing data, drops at 10 o'clock. So that's basically it. But yeah, it's a busy week, man. We got so Wednesday we got rate hike decision. we've got earnings in the morning. Tomorrow we've got Uber earnings and AMD earnings in the evening. Wednesday, I think we have durable good orders dropping tomorrow as well. Wednesday, we get, man, I gotta see. Wednesday, we get non-farm employment change data in the morning, followed by the rate hike decision in the evening, followed by Thursday, where we get jobless claims and Apple earnings in the evening. And then Friday, we have earnings in the morning. We get unemployment in the morning. And then we also get non-farm payroll data in the morning. So a very relevant, big day to watch, big day to pay attention to. Pretty active week right now, in all honesty. Pretty active week. I'll be picking up materials to work on my, yeah. Good luck. Bro, Luke Rockhold needs to just retire, bro. I didn't even watch the fight, but Luke Rockhold needs to just retire. You know, like he's over with, man. You know, my guy is just not gonna win anything anymore, man. He was great, but he's past his prime, and prime comes up quick for pro fighters. FRC is back open. No, it's not. You lied to me, Rock. Again, here's FRC right here at 190. It is not open. Not open. Still halted. Maybe on other platforms, but not mine, sir. Manufacturing data is going to influence the market a little bit. We don't know how much, but it'll influence the market some. How about the Astros, man? The Astros have been doing much better. Got a little rough start to the year, but that's all right. We're right under the Rangers, and the Rangers lost DeGrom, dude, too. Honestly, everybody called Jacob DeGrom. He's too old. He's going to get hurt, and Jacob DeGrom got hurt, unfortunately. The Rangers are doing great, though. I mean, they've got points. They're running 600 right now, so they're doing great. But yeah, Astros will catch up without question. We're about four winning games ahead of them, you know, so we'll catch up. Angels are right behind us, bro. I hope the Angels keep their winning record up, dude. I think everybody wants to see Shohei Ohtani and Trout win. Yeah, FRC's not open for me. It's at 190. Yeah, so FRC's not open yet. It's still closed. How's Jose Abreu doing? I don't know. I haven't been watching too much. Again, market's mostly sideways right now. If you look at the SPY, we're pretty flat here. Bitcoin's still up to 28.7s. SPY at 415.30s here. So, like, we'll see if we get anything good. But let me exit out. I got so many tabs open here. There we go. All right, but yeah, ISM data coming out today, guys. Market's bouncing up at such a small range here. Y'all just be careful. It's one of those days where we might not get too much good action, you know. So it's one of those days where we might just be a little flat, a little sideways, a little neutral, a little boring. Yeah, Tesla had a huge Friday. Again, it's very interesting where like FRC crashed down Friday, but almost all blue chips into green. So it's a very interesting market where like FRC dumped Friday, but like bank stocks especially are green. I guess banks are dragging the market up, but yeah. People forget you get options as an option to buy or sell. Yeah. Again, we're with a lot of these banks. What happened, and again, we talked about this earlier, but what happened with a lot of these is that FRC's failure makes a lot of people flood big banks. So like when small banks fail, people don't trust the little guys, and so they end up moving their money to the big boys like JP Morgan. The five largest banks in the world are JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Citigroup, and yeah, I don't know what the fifth one is. The four big boys are JP Morgan Chase, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, and Citigroup. And I'm sure there's probably another one that I'm leaving out. But market's falling down a little bit. JP Morgan pulling back under the 200 EMA, under the volume weighted average price. FRC is still halted. I don't think it's going to resume either, but it's still halted down there now. I get about 7 minutes before you open. So again, we'll see if we get something good, but all right, so market's pulling back. Not a crazy dip though, and again, you can kind of see like we've been in a downtrend here. So don't get it twisted. We are in a downtrend right now in terms of the SPY, short-term downtrend here. So you can kind of see like that's the trend right now. That's just the price action right now. In terms of actual trend, I really don't know here. It's definitely down, but yeah, okay, I see the trend now. So here's the trend. Actually, I think it's a pretty easy trend to spot. So yeah, here's the pretty easy trend to spot, actually. This is it right Yeah, we'll see if it continues, but you know, by this logic, we do have some time. We still got some downside, you know, room, I guess is the best way to put it. So again, we'll keep this up. We'll put a 5-minute chart up or so and start trading that after the open, I think. But it's a big range trend, but it is a downward trend in my opinion. All right, guys, 5 minutes. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know about the Q. Yeah, so Francis Ngannou, he met with one championship and they decided not to sign him. So bad move for Francis, man. You know, like he's got to understand he was in the biggest MMA, and I understand why he's doing it, but yeah, bad move for him, I think. I don't think that was necessarily a good decision. Yeah, I think the market's up. It's so extended on the upside right now. I think the market's just so green that everybody's waiting for a pullback here. Yeah, despite that, we'll pull back. Like I think we'll probably pull back a reasonable percentage, but and then people will act like we're crashing. You know, even though like you look at a long-term chart on the SPY right now. Again, you see huge green action. Market's actually for the first time in a while green on the year. Believe it or not. So the market is very close to green on the year right now, which is very, very, which is a very good sign, I think. But again, it depends on what happens with the banking stuff. But here's a 6-month chart. All right, so the market is basically stair-stepping up over the last 6 months. But again, we'll pull back like this, and people say, "Oh, it's done." You know, again, I don't even know if we'll pull back that much. If we pull back to like 400, people say, "Oh." What is playing right now? It's supposed to be instrumental. What is that? There you go. Sorry. So it goes. All right. So the list of the largest banks. No. So it goes JP Morgan Chase, Bank of America, Citigroup, Wells Fargo, Goldman Sachs. Morgan Stanley's number 6. U.S. Bank Corp is number 7. Charles Schwab is number 8. PNC is number 9. Truist is 10. 11 is TD. 12 is Cap One. 13 is Bank of New York. 14 is State Street. So yeah, biggest banks: JP Morgan Chase, Bank of America, Citigroup, Wells Fargo, Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley are the top 6 banks in the country. All right, guys, less than a minute here, guys. Less than a minute. All right, here's the open, guys. Yeah, so we're gonna do a Twitter poll. All right, so we're not gonna do a Twitter poll, but we're gonna do a Twitter question. We're gonna include a picture of the top 10 largest banks in the world, and we're asking people, are any of these at risk? All right, market's flying up at the opening bell here, guys. Market's flying up over that top of that range here. So we have the top of the trend. We'll see if it actually follows this now. So we will see if the top of this trend follows now. Again, we are getting ready to trade some futures here. I could short at the top of this range right now, and I think I will. I'm going to short one contract, but it's very risky. See if we get a little flush down here at the top of the trend line, and then we'll cut it pretty fast if it can't. All right, in the green, slightly. Big rejection up there. All right, we are at the top of that trend line here, but I don't like it if it keeps pushing up. Well, we got a nice little stop area. There we go. Nice little flush, and then but an immediate retracement back up. It is the opening bell here. I just think we're a little extended on the upside short term, and I think look at JP Morgan rip, though. That's the only thing that'll make me get out of this. If I see JP Morgan rip, I'm not going to mess with that. Yeah, I'm going to cut it. I see JP Morgan push up there, and it might reject here and just kind of come down, but I'd rather lose 50, 60 bucks than continue to lose more here. And I'll probably put the micro up for now and see if we can maybe establish like a little bit longer term short here. I think it makes more sense. I like the extension that we got right now, though. I really do. Like, I think there might be extension trades to get to take advantage of here. So we're going to take two contracts here. And I lost the trend that I drew here. Let me draw it again. It's pretty easy trend to spot, I think. Let's get that angle right. There we go. So that's the trend right now. Market's very indecisive at this point in time. Yeah, we'll cut this too if it starts to rip. I'm not trying to get stuck in this. I want to let it test the highs, though. I don't want to just cut it and get out too early. A lot of upwicks, though, indicate negative momentum here. That's the one reason that I'm like, okay, well, maybe we'll get a flush, but we originally were planning to do it with the regular E-mini, but we switched to the micro. Because I do think we're probably a little, we could consider this extended on the upside. That's like what I'm thinking is that, like, okay, well, the market's up a little bit too much for me to long too much stuff here. We could take a longer term day trade short and try to make some money on the downside here. But again, do not copy me. I have no idea what we're going to do here. No idea. We're towards the top of the range again, man. I'm just so surprised the market's still pushing up at this point. And again, this is very small. We're going to cut that, though. I'm just so surprised that the market is ripping up as much as it is right now, man. It's just odd. You know? Strange, you know? Yeah, we're only down about 110 bucks, so it could be much worse. Yeah, I'm gonna let it roll a little bit. We did break out of that trend. I'll tell you what, though, we start to retrace back underneath this. I'll short again, but all right, we got 2 contracts now. There we go. Yeah, you can also see JP Morgan. I'm looking at this to influence my sentiment too. Like JP Morgan broke under the lows here. So I mean, that's a bad sign, but they're not a bad sign. Again, I do really think it's necessary. I think the market's just up way too much relative to what's going on right now. Yeah, there's PMI data today. So that might hopefully give a little jolt to volatility, which we kind of need. So again, PMI data drops in less than 10 minutes. First set of it drops in less than 10 minutes. The second set drops at 10 o'clock, which is the big one, which is ISM manufacturing PMI. So that drops later on today. What's Tesla doing? Yeah, we're going to go ahead and cut this. Luckily, it's small. Again, very choppy opening bell, though, man. Just kind of doo-doo range. Big green action Friday, though. But what's Tesla doing? All right, so Tesla's weak. That might be weighing in on market sentiment, too. Market's starting to push up again. Yeah, big pop. We're down like 15 bucks here, so it could be worse, but SPY about to break 416s here. Here, I'm gonna cut this. Market looks bullish, man. It's so surprising. In terms of extension, but hey, again, I'm not mad at it. I mean, let it work, but I'm not going to buy up any swing trades right now. Am I still in a bank stock? I am. Good. Well, all right. So, hey, we're going to go ahead and lock in some profit on Wells Fargo. Some more profit here because we can. Might as well. But man, who thought, man? Again, I'm surprised, and people always call me a perma bull because I'm long so much, but who knew, man, the market would keep ripping up today? It's surprising. Maybe, I guess, FRC, JP Morgan buyout is making people confidence, but see, now we look bullish, and I want to buy the dip, but again, I'm just so skeptical that we're going to hold this. because the market is just up so much over the last couple of days. We're close to 417s, where the higher pre-market's around 416.50s. Hey, nice tiny. Hey, congrats. Yeah, I hope you guys are making money. We're down some, but it's a small day. Again, right now I'm skeptical of markets in general, so I'm just going to wait. All right, we do have some type of PMI data dropping in about 5 minutes, though. So we do have some PMI data dropping in about 5 minutes. Bruce is so excited. You can hear him. Listen to him. Bruce gets so excited to eat, bro. Anytime we get him food, he's so vocal. He's Rosie is just never vocal anymore. The only time Rosie is vocal if she wants to play fetch, and she grabs like this little football, and she'll grab it and walk to me and put it on the ground and then bark at me and try to get me to throw it. Tesla breaking down under VWAP here. Again, JP Morgan rejecting at VWAP. I guess the question right now, guys, is what is holding the market up? It's not Tesla. Tesla's weak on the day. It's not Amazon. Apple is somewhat green. Could be Microsoft. But what's making these big run-ups? Like the SPY is up. Like this is a steep angle. What's dragging the market up, I guess? Nvidia? Yeah, it is Nvidia. Okay, thank you, sir. Yeah, Nvidia flying up to 281s. Wow. Big move for Nvidia. Again, I just didn't trust it. I would have bought this weeks ago. It's just this is up so much for me as well. Like you guys, I have to pick what gives me the highest edge. And like buying up huge stocks that have moved up, even though this one would have worked in hindsight, it's easy to say, oh, well, I should have bought it. But again, I have to look at edge and probability. And when something's up this much, there's usually a low edge and continuing to ride it up and swing trading. Yeah, it could be squeezes too. Microsoft is up some. But Microsoft's not ripping past highs like Nvidia is. Microsoft's green, but Nvidia is breaking highs every minute or two over the last 5 minutes. No, I have no idea about that. I just avoid it, Madi. Any meme token, people are going to get wrapped up in because it stimulates their gambling nature, But for me, I avoid stuff like that. Just too risky. Yeah, honestly, it's just up too much. I don't usually generally consider shorts, but I'm thinking about one now, in all honesty. But yeah, we do have PMI data dropping in about 3 minutes, guys. So we do have some PMI. The big one drops at 10. So this isn't the big one, but the ISM data drops at 10, but base PMI data does drop today. Yeah, so base PMI drops today at 9:45. Expectations are 50.4. So 50.4 is what they're expecting today in terms of PMI numbers for the base one. Regular PMI 50.4. The ISM data, they're expecting 46.8. And so just to put this into perspective so you can understand PMI data, PMI stands for the Manufacturing Purchasing Managers Index. It's a diffusion index, survey results provided by manufacturing firms. Basically, over 50 means an expanding manufacturing sector. Below 50 means a contracting manufacturing sector. And so for this manufacturing PMI that's dropping in about 2 minutes, 1 minute now, really about 1 minute and 10 seconds. Again, expectations are 50.4, so basically flat manufacturing sector. And again, it's one of those things that sometimes recently lower than expected numbers influence the market positively. Sometimes, again, I'm not saying for sure. I really don't know how the market's going to move with this PMI data, but it is relevant data. Yeah. Okay. All right, guys, we got about 30 seconds before PMI data drops, about 30 seconds. Tesla dipping down, though. Again, I don't trust this enough. in all honesty. I don't trust this enough. I'm going to wait. But yeah, here's the base PMI data that comes out. Again, the big one comes out at 10 though. But here we go. 10 seconds, guys. 10 seconds. Make sure you hit the live button next to the play button. All right, 50.4 is what's expected, and here goes the release. 50.2, slightly lower than expected for the base manufacturing data. 50.2 is what showed up as. And again, hit that subscribe button. We cover this data literally within 5 seconds. And so again, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. 50.2 for PMI data, manufacturing PMI. They expected 50.4. We're going to put that up. There's the data reading on the bottom of the screen. The big one drops at 10, though. All right, so market, again, is liking lower than expected data here, like we thought we might. Just broke highs again. Again, I don't trust it. I really don't trust the market right now. Looks strong, though. I mean, JP Morgan moving up, Tesla moving up. Hey, I hope it rips up more. I hope I'm wrong, but again, I'm skeptical. All right, so we got a little consolidation here. Market's testing highs again. Breaking highs again. All right, guys. And again, we got 13 minutes before PMI data comes out. 13 minutes. NVIDIA is kind of helping the market here. Yeah, because sometimes just buying up a bunch of short market. Again, there's no guarantee the market's going to go down. I mean, something that this is showing a lot of people is that the market doesn't care too much about it. The biggest edge is long-term on the upside for sure. You know, so like the big edge the market gives you is long-term on the upside, you know. Again, what's really pushing the market up is NVIDIA today, man. NVIDIA's flying up. Yeah, Apple helping a little bit too. Bro, you're a champ at this. The only thing I watch now in the mornings. Enjoy the non-biased commentary. Keep doing your thing. Hey, thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man. Thank you, sir. Yeah, we tried, man. We tried. Again, my big thing is like I didn't want to be another day trading guru. I didn't. I'd rather just my vision was to kind of be free and just kind of create a resource for traders where we're not out here selling courses or claiming to be the best ever. And you know, that's kind of where the running joke of the channel and top 3 comes along, where it's kind of the joke of the channel because again, we just don't want to be another I'm the greatest guru ever, buy my course type thing, you know. But again, guys, we're just kind of hanging out here. JP Morgan, very choppy open. Markets loved life though today. Market had a great morning. All right, guys, we got about 11 minutes here, 11 minutes before the data comes out. Hey, what's up, Michelle? Yeah, thank you, man. Same, I tune in for updated every time. Keep up the good work. Yeah, we try to just drop data fast, man. Like, we cover the data quickly as much as we can because, you know, like I said, Bloomberg Terminal, you could pay, what, 30 grand a year? Or you could just watch the stream and get it pretty quickly every time. I mean, it's not, like, sometimes, you know, we're at the mercy of technology, and so sometimes it's not going to be super fast, but, like, we cover it relatively quickly each time, you know. Yeah, 10 minutes, guys, 10 minutes. And I appreciate it. Yeah, we channel has grown to larger than I ever imagined it to be. So, you know, really cool thing to watch keep growing. Norwegian, what is that? Norwegian cruise line? Yeah, I know it's Suspiria. Is probably how you. I don't know what that means though. I always avoid. Movie. That's cool. All right, guys. 9 minutes here. 8 minutes really until data comes out. About 8 minutes before manufacturing stuff comes out. Road to 1 million. Yeah, we would. You know, the big thing about trading channels for people to understand, it's like one of the reasons I also branched away from just pure day trading only is because, like, I think if you want to get large channels, you got to cover broad economics, you know, and that's more so what I'm interested in than purely day trading. It's less pressure driven. And it's because it's like, who cares how I do individually with day trading? I'm green on the year just trading in TOS. Like, I'm green on the year just pure out trading. So, you know, regardless of what we do day trading, my swing trades kind of compensate for it. And I think there's enough day trading gurus out there, you know. There's some great day traders, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not hating on any of them, you know. But for me, I just want to cover broad economics. Like, my big edge is really swing trading. Like, swing trading. Like, again, I bought up, just to put this into perspective, guys. If you guys watched the stream the last week, we bought up Wells Fargo, Bank of America. You know, we bought those up last week, and had a beautiful rise in them. We cut our Bank of America trade this morning and made money on that, and we're still in Wells Fargo right now. We'll probably cut a little bit of this. I'll cut the rest of this now, actually. I think we've made enough from it. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and get out the rest. It's pulling back from highs. But again, another green day in that. So my swing trades have just been highly accurate. I'm starting to get better and better at executing them, the swing trades. Like, I'm just getting better at trading these type of moves. Like my intuition is pretty solid, and I think that's something that I noticed on SQ. Like, that the last time SQ, when it had the big Hindenburg short report come out and it dropped like 20% in a couple minutes, and everybody was just huge bears in the 50s, you know, and I was sitting there like, hey, I might buy this up. And again, people were like, oh no, bro, don't buy that up, don't buy it up. You know, I ended up buying it in the 50s, and I told them why I was buying it. I was like, hey, look, this is down big. And then it ended up bouncing all the way back to the 60s within like a couple days. And so proving all those people wrong that day kind of showed me that my intuition's getting pretty good with swing trading. And again, I don't really want anybody to copy me. I really don't. Like, I don't want people copying me in these trades because I might be right or wrong about any of them individually, you know. But yeah, definitely starting to build my confidence. And again, I'm seeing the gains kind of add up over time in my account. And it feels good, man. It feels good. We'll see if we can keep it up. Again, the good thing is that we've been doing this for the last year and essentially a bear market, so to speak, and we've still been making money doing it. So hopefully we can keep it up. Again, my logic, and I'll make a broad video detailing what I'm doing eventually. But again, the broad view of it is I'm looking for blue chip healthy companies that are established companies. Like these are companies that have been around for a long time. They're already established. These are not up and coming mid caps that nobody's ever heard of, or that are all hyped up on overhyped and up too big, up 200% in 30 days on hype. They're not penny stocks that are just pure speculation, stocks. These are large caps that are established and that have been out there. They've been around long enough. All right, market's starting to break down here. With the PMI data coming out, we'll see how this gets impacted by it too. PMI data drops in about 4 minutes, guys. 4 minutes. Yeah, I don't know. I think AI will mess with the influence it heavy. All right, guys, we got 3 minutes here, guys. 3 minutes. And we'll see how this data affects everything here, honestly, with the PMI data. Again, it might be something where, like, this next data release is expected at 46.8. 46.8 is the data expectational for ISM manufacturing data. Again, 46.8. I don't know if it's going to be something where higher data is going to make the market go down and lower data is going to make the market go up. Again, I really don't know here. Chat, let me know what you guys think. I really don't know. We got about a minute, 2.5 minutes here. I think it's possible. I think the market is going to be nervous regarding high manufacturing output because it means inflation problems. But again, nobody knows for sure here. We'll have to wait and see what we get for it. Higher data goes down. Yeah, that's what I think. Inflation problem is going to make higher manufacturing output cause negative reactions in markets. We got less than 2 minutes now, guys. Less than 2 minutes. That's what I'm thinking here. But again, who knows for sure? And we'll try to ride the trend if we get it in futures. All right, guys, about a minute left. 1 minute. 1 minute, team. And again, if you haven't checked out Top Step already, Top Step is one of the ways you can day trade these releases. The futures market has no PDT restrictions. You can use a margin account, get instant settlement, short, buy market, buy bid, sell the ash, just like stocks. But there's no PDT restrictions, and the easiest way to get your feet wet without taking on too much risk, if you don't have, say, the equity for like $10,000 or $15,000 account, is a funded account program. And Top Step's a sponsor of mine. They are the most legit futures one in the world. They've been around for over 10 years. They pay out millions, fund thousands of traders a year. Best of both worlds. If you take it and lose, the base package is less than 140 if you use my link. And so if you take it and lose, it's not the end of the world. It's much less than you would probably lose if you put the money up yourself. But if you take it and pass it, you still keep 90% of your profit moving forward. And so it really is the best of both worlds. You can find the link here and get 20% off. Again, I am biased in their favor because they're sponsors of mine, and so they pay me money. But again, genuinely useful in my opinion. And check them out there. All right, guys, here goes the release here, guys. 15 seconds. 15 seconds, guys. All right, the 47.1, higher than expected, guys. 47.1. And we are shorting the PMI data on the regular E-mini here. Again, I'm putting this data up on screen. All right, so we just got out. We were shorting the manufacturing PMI data, and so we are up about $420 here. Again, as soon as I saw that number, I shorted, and we were down a little bit leading into this, but not too shabby here, guys. We'll take it. Again, we are up about 440 on the day, 440. So not too bad. But yeah, higher than expected. That caused a negative response, as we said it would. Again, inflation problems causing people to not want economical growth is essentially what it is. Inflation problems causing people not to want economical growth is all it is here. And again, yeah, we'll see what happens, but see if the downtrend continues here. Part of me wants to short this. JP Morgan and other banks are not moving as much, but again, higher than expected data, 47.1 versus 46.8 expected. And again, we'll put this number up on screen and on Twitter. $7.1 versus 46.8 expected. All right, so bouncing back up a little bit here. So again, we did scalp this. We are up about 400 and something on the day. Again, the market's starting to bounce back though here. So again, kind of starting to reel back up right now. What's Tesla? How's Tesla responding to this data? Tesla's starting to creep back up too. Very choppy neutral day, man. The market's been utter garbage for day trading the last couple weeks. So starting to move down a little bit, but again, I see Tesla starting to creep back up. We'll see if that influences the market positively. It's tight range here right now, guys. JP Morgan started to creep back down though. Let's see if the market ends up flushing back down here. Best books you recommend for understanding the market in general? I mean, in broad economics, there's books are almost. I think books are useful, but like, I think you're going to be able to learn it easier by YouTube, just YouTube in general. You know, you don't need books to teach you anymore, and I think there's a lot of better data in terms of video format at this point in time. And again, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell. We appreciate the love and support, of course, guys. Continue to subscribe to the channel. We appreciate it. And yeah, check out TopStep. TopStep, a funded account program for futures. They give you a demo. If you can hit the target and pass their profitability test, essentially, then they fund you between 50 grand up to 150K. Most people are not going to pass it because most day traders lose money, but it builds your skill. Even if, regardless of whether you pass it or not, it builds your skill. And most traders lose money day trading in general. And so this is just a much cheaper way to learn. We are in another E-mini short right now, guys. You can see we're up with 2 contracts. We're going to take half off. We're in 1 contract now. And we're going to go ahead and cut that too, I think. So just made a little bit more. But yeah, I think most traders are going to lose money naturally. So yeah, you can kind of see our day now. We are up to about 530. So not too bad. We'll probably go ahead and bow out of the day. It looks like the market might be bouncing back. But yeah, check out TopStep, guys. Again, great way to test your skill. Most people are going to lose these funded programs, but that's okay because it's a lot cheaper to lose on TopStep. But you can find the link to that in the description. Another one of my sponsors is a company called Chart Prime. And Chart Prime is a trading view indicator service where they give you custom reversals and custom alert signals. And again, they're a sponsor of mine as well. And we try not to plug anything. We might do 3 or 4 plugs a stream in a 4-hour stream. And so we don't, plug very often. We try to keep them towards the end of the stream instead of the beginning because, we just don't want to, just kind of like the radio is a free thing, just like the radio is free. We're free as well, but we just kind of keep it towards the very end. But check out Chart Prime here. And again, I think the edge that this gives you can be profound here. So again, they give you these custom signals and you can use them on any time frame. You can use them in stocks, crypto, Forex, futures. Really, really useful, honestly. But again, you can kind of see possible reversal down signal, drop. Possible reversal down signal here. And these are over, each candlestick represents an hour. You get a drop over the entire day. Again, bearish engulfing candle right here. And I can't fake what I'm showing you. Nice drops. And this is kind of like their VWAP line. It's kind of a custom VWAP line that they use. You can kind of see it's pretty accurate. And again, I can't guarantee you're going to make money with them. Of course, nobody can. But $35 a month for Chart Prime, which is very, very cheap. Of course, $35 a month. Very, very cheap. And again, I'll put this up and move this so you can see it. But you could also use them on like a day trading basis. I use them on 1 minute, 5 minute, 15 minutes. My favorite time frame, honestly, has been the 5-minute chart. So let's take a look at the 5-minute chart to see what they showed. So here was yesterday's price action. Yeah, that was yesterday's. So this one was wrong. Look at the bounce up there. Look at the engulfing candle here. So this one was wrong. Look at the call right here. So it just put this reversal down signal here. And over the next 10 minutes, you get drops. And so it's not going to work every time. Like you can keep scrolling back here. But like, look at how genuinely useful this can be. Like, look. Reversal up. You get a nice bounce up to like here on 411s. This one might have been wrong. This one was right. Drop. Possible reversal down. You get drops over like 45 minutes. Possible reversal down. You get a drop down to like 406. And then look, literally call it. It does really well at calling the tops and bottoms too. And so like, I think there's a pretty good way of getting yourself in like solid risk reward situations. Look at the drops. Possible reversal down or possible reversal up bounce. I like finding them where you get multiple showing up together. So like if you get like a reversal up signal and a candlestick pattern, that's usually my favorite time to use them because those can be like really, really powerful, especially on choppy days. Like you can see like on choppy days, this thing is really good at identifying range. And this is just a small piece of what they offer. Reversal down drop. Look, here's what I showed you where you get a bullish engulfing candle and a reversal up signal. This is a bounce over like what, 30 minutes. Let's look at a 1 minute time frame, which is another time frame I use too. Let me get this out the way. So here's a 1 minute time frame. Let's look. So that one was wrong. Bearish engulfing candles. You can kind of see how you're using it to judge. So like, look, people ask me, they say, oh, well, the reversal signals show up minutes later. This one just showed up. Look, it showed up right here. And so this reversal up signal just showed up. You also have that oscillator below us. And so we'll see if we bounce back. Again, it's called Chart Prime. It's $35 a month. What I'm showing you now is just a little small piece. Check out the link in the description if you want more info on it. And I'll see you guys later, guys. Look, y'all be safe in the markets right now. It's pretty choppy, pretty neutral activity. And look at this, though, just to give you kind of a little understanding of it. Look, reversal up. You got this nice little pop afterwards, too. So, again, check it out. Good luck. Y'all be safe. Y'all be good. And I'll see you guys later on.